Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching from. I'm Tarot DNA. This is our Tuesday night stream. Coming to you from sunny, lovely Perth. We are coming up to Halloween season. Things are changing. The colours are changing. The decks are changing. The readings change as the darker cards come out. Mercury retrograde is starting. We're in shadow. Scorpio season starts tomorrow. So we'll be talking about the astrological sign of Scorpio, the 3 decans, what that means, and the crystals of how to help with Mercury retrograde right the way through to December. We'll be doing our live free readings tonight. As always, it's ! join the queue. And with that, I will remember to actually open the queue, because that's always a good idea. When the cursor, hello cursor. Raise hand if born in Mercury retrograde. Hello Nali, how are you? Lovely to see you in the channel tonight. Were you born in a Mercury retrograde? Not many people know if they are or not. You were. You were. Happy time zone, Project Nolly. And how has being in Mercury retrograde? I was born in hospital, I know that much. You definitely were born in a hospital, and I do have your chart done. It's just we're coming up to a very deep time with Mercury retrograde, because we're also hitting Scorpio season, coming up to Mercury retrograde through Scorpio season as well, which is very deep dive. Atlas Star, how are you? Lovely to see you in the channel. We're just saying tonight we're not only doing the free readings, we're going to be... I'm very good, thank you. How are you doing this wonderful day or night wherever you're watching from? It's 6 o'clock in the evening here in Perth, Australia for us. This isn't somebody's spread. No, it's not pretty at all. I wouldn't want this spread if I was actually doing it for a spread. This is the cards to do with Scorpio, the decans of Scorpio. Scorpio is a very deep, intense sign. So no, this is, thankfully this is nobody's reading. Could you imagine? The Death, the Tower, the 5, 6 and 7 of Cups. Hello Penchalot, how are you? Welcome back to the channel, nice to see you. Yeah, I would not want that reading. There would be a lot of challenges and work to do with that reading. I think it would be very much, at least none of it was inverted. No, that's very true. Although as it's Mercury retrograde, they all could be inverted. That's the thing. So it is positively bad. It's not that it's bad, it's actually intensely deep, which is Scorpio. These are every... Oh, my puns are all going today. It is positively bad. A lot of new beginnings. Yes, a lot of deep diving. So you're right, there would be a lot of new beginnings with the Death card and the Tower. What about the King of Cups and the King of Wands? Well, the King of Cups, sorry, and the Knight of Wands. What would you project? Nali and Charlotte, what would you say about that? The King of Cups and the Knight of Wands, either side of the Tower. As this isn't for anybody, it's not going to hurt anybody. We come up with different things. King of Cups would speak to me. Sorry, I was looking at my chart. The King of Cups would speak to you. Yeah. Kings and Queens normally have voices. Yes, they do. Yeah, we tend to look at them as people who come across with active dialogue, who will tell us something, or who will actually bring us. I'm taking a stab in that the Knight is a messenger. You're learning, absolutely. That one would talk down direct to me. The King of Cups they can be quite condescending in love and assume they know a great deal, but they can also, in what they presume is a caring way. But yes, with the dark side of it, they can be quite narcissistic. His wand in that picture reminds me of those talking sticks people have sometimes. Yeah, when you like hand the stick around it, especially like a circle, say that's the stick, you get the one to talk. But yes, that's a really, really good talking point, Anna. That's really good. That's one of those talking sticks. The Knight of Wands is full of action, and the pages tend to be the ones that bring messages, but the Knights are taking you somewhere. So you could say that he might be a messenger of some sort, but an active messenger. So he's not just giving you something, he's very actively. Knights tend to have a lot of action and direction. So he would be giving you direction. If that was his message, it would be active and be direct in that message. And he's very passionate and quite deep. What about the Five of Cups? If you imagine these cards are Scorpio. So you have the King of Cups, if you imagined it as a pair. So if you have the King of Cups, and then you have the Five of Cups. So this is someone who has mastery in love and relationships. What would you imagine? Grief. It can be grief, yes. Deep feelings, because Scorpios have very intense feelings and emotions, and they will often not show those emotions. They would bury them. So this is almost turning their head and not letting anybody see their grief, the very deep grief, but also how they deal with emotions. They internalize a great deal because they come across as very strong, very deep, intense, emotional. When they do love and have relationships, they're incredibly intense, incredibly loyal, and they don't like being hurt, but they won't show they're being hurt publicly. It's very internalized grief. Can you read mine? We can do later. Last Strain, welcome to the channel. This actually isn't a reading. This is actually, we're going to be talking about Scorpio, the Decans, and these were cards on here that are about Scorpio. And just some people in the channel were just having a little bit of a stab in of what they might be, and some people know a little bit about tarot. So while we were waiting for a few more people to join us, but yes, when the queue's open, you just have to wait a little bit because you have to have 10 Pentacles to join the queue, and new people, it just takes a little while to accumulate that. I think it's about 10 minutes. And then you can start You get in currency, the in-channel currency, which is Pentacles, and with 10 Pentacles you can then join the queue. The queue is open for anybody who wants a reading. For those of you that have been in here before, you will have enough Pentacles to join the queue for a reading. But yes, I was just letting a few more people come in, but for those that were in here, they were just having a little look at the cards and what they mean. As I said, we're talking about the Scorpio. 1 pentacle a minute, and for supporting the channel, our bonuses, follows, hosts, etc. Thank you, Anna. I shall put that in your commands. I'd appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, last rain, after about 10 minutes of being in the channel, you're more than welcome to join the queue. Nali and Charlotte, you're more than welcome to join the queue. And as I said, we're coming towards Halloween or Samhain. The cards, you'll notice, have changed. You just came to keep me warm. You just came to keep warm, did you? Well, we're talking about Halloween. You can notice the red is here. We're changing the colours slightly. We don't have a lot of the lighter decks. We've gone a little bit darker with our decks. Sounds like some 30 degrees C weather. Yes, absolutely, in Australia. It's quite warm. We've had the fans on for a bit today. Lovely sunshine. The cats have loved it. They've been following the sunshine all around the house through the windows. Yeah, we definitely do know when it gets cold over in England. Definitely done the snow and the ice and the driving winds and rain. And having to defrost the car in the morning and dig out the snow, and never had to use snow chains, but yeah. Had a few scares with sliding on the black ice and going So yes, I'm quite happy not to be driving in those conditions anymore, I must admit. I quite liked England. I just really don't handle winter weather. Yeah, East Anglia is pretty well compared to some places, you know, like I know Canada's beautiful. I don't think I could handle the freezing cold in Canada and the ice and the snow and everything else. I don't think I'm built for Canada. You've never seen snow before. I hadn't seen snow till I was 10, but I know some people never see it their entire life, or when they first see it, they're into their adulthood. And I saw it when I was 10 briefly for a couple of days. We went up to Scotland and I saw snow. But yeah, we took the children up to the snowy mountains in Australia, you know, up to the Blue Mountains, so they could actually see the snow. And just, I think it was not long before we left England, left Australia, we actually saw snow in Canberra. It's like we're going to England and we found snow. So it does get really slushy and dirty. It was the day we left. I think you're right. It was, yeah. So, as we've got a few people here, I just want to go into trying to eat nachos, so my typing is too bad today. I have to admit, Anna made chili last night, and we had chili con carne and we had some nachos with them, and she makes the best chili and the best spaghetti bolognese ever. I make them, but she has well surpassed me. If we're gonna have spaghetti bolognese or chili, Anna cooks, because she says she does the same as I do, but hers tastes so much better. So much better. So I'm going to go into a little bit about the Decans. As I said, we actually start Scorpio, and every zodiac star sign, whether you're Scorpio or Sagittarius or Libra or Pisces or Cancer, every star sign has what we call 3 decans. And that's because the natal chart you have is a circle. It's 360 degrees. And every decan is 10 degrees. So every star sign, because we have 12 star signs and they have 30 degrees in each, we actually have a full circle. So the 12 star signs divided by 360, so 30 degrees, and they split that to the 3 decans, because that's also when the planets change going through each decan, and that changes a little bit the personality and attributes for every person. So although you may have the same star sign, the decans change. No, absolutely. You're in Australia too, Charlotte. Whereabouts in Australia are you? You might be having better weather than we have. Middle of nowhere. What state? What state are you in? We're ex-military family. We've pretty much covered them all. I know I have. East Coast is supposed to be due to a really hot summer this year. Yeah. It can get very hot. Very, very hot. So do I have actually anybody in chat who is a Scorpio? 36 today, not quite New South Wales. Yeah, that's getting up there, isn't it? Once it gets over 35, you start thinking it's starting to get quite warm. When it gets over 40, it's... You've registered what will. Very true. Very true. Like when we lived in Catherine. It was like, just keep going up for hours and you'll find us right in the middle. Unless you're at school, couldn't you pro for 42 to get sent home from school? That's very true. That's very true. Very true indeed. So is anybody in chat actually a Scorpio or knows a Scorpio? That'd be interesting to know. I actually have 2 family members that are Scorpios. Or you might have a friend who knows a Scorpio. It'd just be interesting if when we go through a couple of things you actually see if you think, oh, one of your best friends is a Scorpio. Well then some of this you might see as attributes your best friend has. So if you know when their birthday is, I can kind of tell you what decan they're in, but the first one actually starts from tomorrow. So that's always the first decan, starts on the 23rd of October and it goes through to November the 2nd. And they are the most intense of the Scorpios. That's their keyword. It is real intensity in everything they do. All of it so far. Yeah, they are very deep. They have an independent streak. A lot of Scorpios are independent, but first decan Scorpios, no matter how often they're offered help, they tend to do it very much on their own. It's, I will do it. I can do it on my own. I don't need your help. And they're very insistent. So they're extremely independent. Even when they could probably do with some help, they tend to want to do it on their own. They can be quite secretive. It's not that they're trying to keep something from you, they just don't think it's any of your business. So it's not only they're independent, they're quite withdrawn, and it's very much, nope. A little bit like this. This is the card for the first decan, the lower one, and it's very much this. It's not that they're not friendly, it's just they will do it in their own time, and they will turn their back because they don't need you. they don't care what you think, what you say. They don't need you. So they're very independent, very intense, quite secretive with their own business, and really don't care whether you like them or not. It doesn't bother them one bit. It's like, bothered? No, not at all. The Death card is the one that covers all the Decans and all Scorpios. This is very much that it comes in more to the second Decan, but they go through a lot of transformation. Many signs have, where they'll say they'll almost have areas where they change through their life. Scorpios are the one sign that have 7 distinct changes in their life. They almost go through this full process of transformation under the Death card. Some astrologers will count 3. There are actually 7 different areas they go through. So as they age and they go through their different pinnacles of life, they do actually change. And you can meet a Scorpio that you might have known in school. Only Scorpios go through it the most intensely because they actually do have 7 almost different stages of totem animals that they go through within their transformation as a person. So the Scorpios are the deepest. Some will count 3. Only Scorpios with 7? Yes, only Scorpios with 7. No, that's fine, absolutely. That's why they are the deep, intense divers of all the signs, because they have Death and the planet Mars as their ruler. So Mars being the warrior, the battler, the full sign of Mars, the red planet, and Death. And they go through the alchemical processes of Death, the 7 stages through the 7 classic planets. It's very much, they are some say they're the most difficult sign. They're the hardest sign to get close to because they keep themselves so much to themselves. It takes a lot to actually become a very good friend. So if you actually have a best friend, got to write a tweet for your first gift as a pop culture reference captioned, Mercury must be in retrograde. How often does it actually happen? I know I should remember all the hallmarks for it. Just another ruse or two. Hi, how are you going? Welcome to the channel. Mercury retrograde happens several times in a year, but we're going through quite an intense one because it's in Scorpio. Welcome to join us. No, you're absolutely fine. You're not derailing at all. Welcome to the channel. Just another ruse. Lovely to see you here. If you're the first time here, we'll be getting into free readings very shortly. Once you've been in the channel about 10 minutes, you've earned enough in-channel currency if you'd like to join the queue for a free reading, and that's !join. We're just going through a little bit of Scorpio Decans here. We have someone who has a best friend in the chat at the moment who's a Scorpio, and we're actually starting Scorpio season tomorrow. So I'm trying to bring in a little bit of astrology as well, because I know some people here who not only enjoy tarot, but they get quite a lot of enjoyment out of the astrology part as well. So yes, the very first decan is the King of Cups and the 5 of Cups. But overall, the Death card and Mars. Second decan, that doesn't start till November 3rd. So I'm going to go into that in more detail in November. Just to let you know that this is the Decan 1, Decan 2 and Decan 3. It goes to 5, 6 and 7 with the cups, but they do have the different cards here, but the overarching card is the Death card, because all Scorpios go through the actual full transformation. Very intense, very deep. They're very self-disciplined in the first decan. It's not only that they're independent, but they have a discipline that is incredibly strong and powerful. It's their self-discipline. They expect more from themselves than anybody else would. So if a Scorpio works for a boss, the boss is never going to have to ask them to do what he thinks they need to do, because a Scorpio is so self-disciplined, they will do more because that is up to their standard. not anybody else's, and that's how they live their life, with incredible intensity, discipline, all of those things. They can also be quite intimidating, and often Scorpios are physically, don't ask me why, but a lot of them are actually quite physically big. Both of the Scorpios I know, the smallest is 6'4", the other 6'6", and not little. Started out little, but then really filled and bulked right up, and quite both intimidating quite men just to look at them. And that tends to be, many Scorpios are not only intimidating physically, but sometimes in their manner, and it's just the way they are. It's their personality, it's who and what they. Your husband is a Scorpio. Hello, Hot Thomas 106, how are you? Thank you for the follow, I appreciate that. So some of this might be old hat to you. You will absolutely know. We're talking about, I'm very good, very, very good. And thank you so much for joining the channel, and thank you very much for the follow. It's really appreciated. Because we're actually starting Scorpio season tomorrow, as you'll probably know if you have a husband who's Scorpio. As we said, the coming into Scorpio month tomorrow, and we have the 3 decans of Scorpio. So the first one starts tomorrow through to the 2nd of November. And then we go on to the 2nd decan, and then the 3rd. But we're mainly focusing on the first one because we're starting them tomorrow. So we've said they tend to be, his birthday's in a few days, so he's the first decan. He's the first decan. So this applies, well, you can tell me if it applies to your husband. They come under the ruler of Mars. All Scorpios come under the ruler of Mars, which is the very intense warrior red planet. But also the first one is, they actually come under Pluto, which makes them a double Scorpio, which means they have these traits intensified more than the 2nd and the 3rd decan. So a double Scorpio in the first decan has incredible intensity in everything they do. They are independent, very self-sufficient, self-reliant. Yes. I want to see how many yeses I get here. They can be quite secretive, but that tends to be because they take care of business themselves. It's nothing to do with you. It's not that they don't want to involve you or show you. It's just that's the way they are. I will deal with this. It is my place to deal with it. I will deal with it. And when I'm done, I'll tell you I'm done, if you need to know. But, hello, how are you, Ella? I can't tell you what your tarot is, because at the moment, I'm just talking about the decans. He just handles things and tells you. That's the double Scorpio. Once you've been here for about 5 or 10 minutes, you can actually join the queue and I'll be able to read your tarot. Thank you. So yeah, it's very much that you don't need a reason, Anog, you are the mod. And many of you might have been in my channel first. Analog Gaming is not only my daughter, she's my mod, she's also a gamer herself. But she makes sure this channel is kept free of trolls and people who would be disrespectful, not only to myself, but to other people in here. Exactly, yeah. And that's why I didn't read it, because I don't read the account, I don't say it out loud until I've actually read it, and then, yeah. And that's why you're my mod. It's like my pin is gone. This isn't a card game, I read tarot, and at the moment we're actually just finishing off something about the Scorpio Decans. When you've been in the channel for about 10 minutes, you'll have accrued enough in-game channel currency. Looks like a card game, well they are made of cards, yes. And these are actually tarot cards, and I read tarot. So once you've been in here about 10 minutes, you can put exclamation join, and I can read you your tarot. But so as I was saying, Thomas, And your sun is a Scorpio. So you have 2 in the house. Are they both around about the same time? You were making up for last time, because last time we actually had a stream, we didn't have, well, no, if it is virtual, you can't touch the cards because I'm here in Perth and you're wherever you are. So, so your son, Thomas, are they born at the same time in the first decan? So between now and the cards are real. Yeah, these are all real cards. Beginning of November for your son. So first or the second or the third? You can certainly lurk and I'll answer all your questions. I'm a professional tarot reader. I've been reading for 45 years. He's born on the 10th, so he's in the second decan. So he will be less intense, but more emotional, because the second decan is Scorpio Pisces, because they actually have Neptune as the co-ruler with Mars. So they tend to be a little bit more emotional, which is this one, and lighter in their mood. Yes, it is, absolutely. That is the truth. That there is a real difference. No, this isn't one of those packs where you get holographic cards. These are tarot cards. Yeah, the interactive card is definitely not on show today, but it will be later. So you can see the difference of the 5 of Cups to the 6 of Cups as a Scorpio. The 5 of Cups is very much someone like your husband, who's very introverted, very self-sufficient, very intense. Scorpio season is actually coming up tomorrow. Yeah. Could you answer a specific question briefly so I can make or not make a connection between having Pluto in Scorpio and Scorpio season coming up? Pluto is the ruler of all of Scorpio. Pluto is the planet, like I'm a Libra and Venus is exalted in Libra and Taurus. Pluto is exalted in all of Scorpio. And the death card with Pluto is very much exalted, because the death card and Pluto cover all of them. So they all have that Scorpio on that area. It does, because it used to be the 7 classical planets, but they've now realigned it to, no, we don't use Bitcoin here, it's in currency, in channel currency, because these tarot readings are free apart from in channel currency. But you're more than welcome if you want to make a donation to do that, or you can cheer bits if you appreciate what we do in channel. But I'm sorry, we don't take, yeah, it's turned out time. So that's fine, but thank you for asking. That was a very valid question. So that's why, Nali, that is, we have Pluto and the death, but then each of the decans has, each of the decans actually has a different planet with it. So I can read your cards for you. The model will tell you how much currency you have. And then when you have 10 pentacles, which is the in-channel currency, pentacles being the suit of coins in tarot, you can then press exclamation join and you can have a reading. So that's fine. You may leave. Quite happily for you to leave. Having Pluto in Scorpio in my chart, listen to your reading, will I take on these traits? No, Pluto in Scorpio in your chart will allow you to have, I have no issue with him leaving either. He can quite happily leave. It's saying that some of these traits you may take on in that period of time, because we all get, well, there you go. Thank you for the compliment. I'm trying to look more like the witches tonight, so yeah, happy with that. The cards very much are more to do with because the planets go through so quickly. That's why we have another different planetary influence with them. So we'll have Pisces and then we'll have the moon. And that's why this third one is more illusionary. Does that make sense to you, Nali? That when we have a planet in our natal chart, in that area we'll take on some of those. Oh God, I'm so confused. Astrology is very, very difficult. It's complex. It's complex. That's why as I go through, I'm only picking out. No, that's fine. Yes, they are rude. We have trolls, and the best way to deal with them is not to engage them. When you have enough currency, absolutely. You think I'm a Leo? Why do you think I'm a Leo? When you have enough currency, I'm happy to do that, and you can ask a specific question, yes. So now, did that help you a little bit? There are a few Leos. I'm actually not a Leo. I'm actually not a Leo. That's why Anna is such a good mod. No, not a Gemini either. You're getting closer to the right element. Hello, Packer Chris, how are you? Appreciate that. Keep having you come back in. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm doing really well. Anna's on the ball tonight. I think she's because of all the red. Well, this is actually. It did help, but I need to stick to tarot. Yeah. Anna is wonderful. Anna is wonderful. She is a great mod, and she keeps this channel running, but she makes it so that we actually don't have a lot of rubbish and people being disrespectful to others in the channel, because you come here to enjoy what you're doing. Another 10 minutes and you should have enough to do it. You should have enough then, all right? So yeah, it's very much that as the moon comes across the sky over the month, cool, not a problem at all. That's why we have a double Scorpio in the beginning, like your husband, who is extremely intense, very much so. Your son, who is a Scorpio Pisces because of Neptune, and allows very much to be lighter, very, very different. And the third decan we will get into in a little while, which is the moon, and they tend to be more chill, a little bit more laid back, but they can also have a few more fears and phobias that they have having the moon. So, did everybody enjoy a little bit more about the decans and the astrology of Scorpio? And if you have any questions before we leave it, let me know. It was great you enjoyed that. Well, I'm hoping that I will actually start. I've started with Scorpio because it's also Mercury retrograde, and we're coming up to Halloween, and it's really lovely to start. And because they're ruled by Pluto, but also Mars, more emotional, where my husband is more chilled and does his own thing. And because you have the two, you actually have the first and second decan, and you can see the difference. How your husband, it's very much standing alone, apart, whereas your son is very much in the mix, much more easygoing. These are, which cards? This is the Scorpio card. You're a Sagittarius, yeah. Yeah, Sagittarius have some similar traits, but not exactly the same. But this is the card of Scorpio, the 7 transformations under Pluto, which is considered the deeper planet. They deep dive in everything they do. They go very deep, very, very deep indeed. They're the ones that will check everything out, and they have that ability to do all of that. They really do. So yes, we will be over the months. I will go a saggy squad. Because Anna's a Sagittarius as well. So we will go into more of the Sagittarius and more of the Scorpios, and then I will work through the zodiac, through the Decans. No, I don't kind of go through the neurostar sign. That came out wrong. Yeah, I'm actually a Libra. I'm a Libra. So I work still on the normal 12 systems for the moment. So yeah, 12-15. Yeah. So you guys will be coming up next, because I'll be going through the Decans for the Sagittarius and going all the way through. But I just thought, as it was actually coming up to Halloween, almost twins, you'd have very similar traits. I thought I'd enjoy doing the Decans for everybody and going through it, because I have a lot of people who do tarot and ask about the astrology. You just need 10. So I think about 10 minutes we'll do that, and that will give you... Decans are... You just got your first deck of tarot gut. Excuse me. Oh. Can I ask you which tarot deck you got? I have lots of tips for beginners, yeah? Can you tell me what tarot deck you got? I have a lot of people in the channel who are just learning tarot. I've been reading Rider-Waite. Good for you, because that's the perfect one to learn on. This is the original Rider-Waite, but any Rider-Waite, yeah, is good. Thank you for answering, Analog. You've learned that already. Decans with the sections an astrology chart is divided into. Because an astrology chart is a full circle, that's 360 degrees, and we have 12 zodiac signs, so that allows each of the zodiac signs to have 30 degrees of the 360. And because of the way the planets move, it is the original. That is the best one for you to learn on. If you learn this, you'll be able to read every other of the thousands of clones that are out there. This is the very best one. When I teach, this is the one I would be teaching from. And 90% of the other tarot readers who teach do the same. So you pick the best deck to start with. That will help you tremendously. So yeah, the 30 degrees. So we have the first 0 to 10 degrees is the first decan, 10 to 20 degrees is the second decan, 20 to 30 degrees is the third decan. Yes, I will be sweet. Yeah, I'm hoping in the new year that I will actually be doing starting with basic courses, and I'll be, like I'm doing here on Twitch. What I do is I have a little bit of a section where in between the readings, or just before we start, especially if there's nobody in the queue and we're waiting, I'll be going through. So I go through the aces and the twos, so I go through the numbers, because I also do numerology as well. Thank you for the follow, I really appreciate that. Really do, thank you very much. And you must be getting very close that you can do exclamation join. How do those stones work on the deck? These ones or these ones here on the desk? These ones. Oh, thank you so much, Cheryl, for following. These ones, both. Well, these ones here, I like to use the words to put actually on the decks, and I'll explain that when we're about to do a reading. These ones here. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the follows. I'm blown away. That's 3 in a row. That's kind of like a hat trick. Thank you so much. And you guys are awesome. I have been doing this since September the 25th. Made affiliate in like less than 2 weeks. And you've now taken me almost to 100 followers. I think I'm about 4 or 5 to go. So you guys are doing so much for me. I can't believe how supportive everybody's been, as I'm a very new streamer. I've been reading tarot for 45 years, but I'm very new to streaming. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Oh, I'm blown away. I really am, how wonderful everybody's been. But I will very quickly, it's amazing. It really is. Mercury retrograde. Everybody's heard the term Mercury retrograde? Do you really understand what it means? Because a lot of people go, yeah, Mercury retrograde, yeah, so what about it? Oh, I don't know. Yes, you've heard the term. You do know. You do. Nali, how would you describe Mercury retrograde? No idea. And it's like middleware. It's very much that if we had, you won't probably be able to see that one. I'll use this stone. So imagine this stone is Mercury. And when we see it from our perspective, a few years ago I got given a stone with pieces written on it. Was told it was meant to bring luck or something. I was told to keep it in my backpack during studies. There are lots of crystals. Lapis lazuli is one of them that is very good for students. Crystals have an inorganic structure, so therefore they're really cool. There's lots of stones that do that. I, as a student, had lapis lazuli with me all the time, and they help you to focus and help you with your studies, because it's the more you focus, the more you're able to do your work. And all crystals have a different structure that gives them different properties. But when Mercury's in the sky, when we look at it in the Earth, sometimes it looks like it's going forward in the sky. But other times, just because of the Earth's axis and the way it travels in an ellipse, it looks like it's actually going backwards. And that's what they say when they say Mercury's going retrograde. It literally looks like it's going backwards in the sky. And because of that, it happens, because it's a fast-moving planet, Mercury's quite fast compared to some of the others, it lasts for several weeks, but we have a shadow period where when it's going direct, it then stops. They do look cool. And then they come back. And in that period where it stops before it changes direction, because it's a planet, it's not like a car where you can stop, even with a car, you've got to have a amount of stopping distance. And then before you change direction. So a planet's the same. It goes forward, it stops, it's in shadow, and then it comes back and it's retrograde. And as it comes back, it affects different areas of our lives. Most people in Mercury retrograde will say, don't make a big purchase, my husband's got my clear quartz and said it would help with my gypsy ways because I've got tarot cards. That is a clear quartz. It's called an amplifier. And clear quartz are absolutely brilliant. I'm not going to comment on gypsy ways. I see nothing wrong with gypsy ways myself. And if you've got gypsy ways, good for you, girl. And because of your tarot cards, I think that's wonderful. I really do. So with all the ones I've got, we are sisters in arms together in our gypsy ways with tarot cards. Hallelujah. A clear quartz is an amplifier. It's a power stone. It's a cleansing. He cracks me up. And they have a great sense of humor, Scorpios, because they're so deep, and they'll often just come out with something and it's rivetingly funny. And quite often when people use grids for crystals, they will put an amplifier in the middle, or they will use one of these and put it on a deck to keep it clear. So yes, a clear crystal quartz is a great stone to start with. Absolutely great stone to start with. But when we have Mercury retrograde, one of the big things that goes wrong is communication. Any quartz is an amplifier, clear, smoking rose. It is absolutely. This is the one that, thank you for saying that, Birch-a-lot. I was going to go through as I went through, but absolutely. This one here is the only one I've got on the table tonight. I don't have a smoking rose on the table, I sometimes do. But this one is considered, especially for people who are starting, as a great one to use as an amplifier and as a cleanser as well. But yes, A lot of all the quartzes are, absolutely. They work really well. You obviously like crystals, Birch, a lot. So this is a blue lace agate. This is great for communication. It always goes to our throat chakra. What about those that claim to speak beyond? I can't talk what other people claim. I don't. I read tarot cards. I'm not a psychic. And that's, if you read my bio, it says to you, I love it because it really does look like the lace of the blue. So yeah, and it's great for communication. And often in a Mercury retrograde, communication with computers and phones and faxes and letters and messages and texts can be misconstrued. They can go wrong. It's a beautiful blue color, the deeper blue bands in, and that's why it's called blue lace, and it's called a blue lace agate. I haven't used a tarot wolf deck. I don't have a tarot. I have tarot dragon decks. And hello, Snake Alone today. How are you? Welcome to the channel. I have wolves in my Druid Animal Oracle, and I have wolves in one of my other animal tarots, but I don't actually have a tarot wolf deck. Do you have a tarot wolf deck yourself? I'm sure there's one available. There's thousands of decks available. There's probably there's a lot of Native American medicine ones, I think, that may have based on wolf decks, and there's lots of others around as well. So, you know, you can't keep track because there's new ones being self-published or done by all the big companies all the time, by Llewellyn and Scarabeo and US Games. There's thousands of them. So that's the first one, blue lace agate. Mercury retrograde, if communication's not going well, are you getting into fights and disagreements? Blue lace agate till the 7th of December is a great crystal to have. A zombie one, well, it's coming back at Halloween, you might see it even closer. Oh, for sure, I researched all sorts before coming back to the original deck I got. It's the only way to do it, is to see, because there are so many, is to actually see. I've got some epic ones for Halloween. I do. And I even have one that's out of print, so I'm really happy I've been able to source that one. So yeah, there are so many decks out there. You have to choose the one that is right for you. But actually getting a Rider-Waite original, the Thoth deck is brilliant. I have the Thoth deck. It's a very different system. Don't try to learn the Rider-Waite system and the Thoth deck together. You will confuse yourself, because the Tarot of the Haunted House, beautiful. Crow deck, dragon decks, and made 3 decks too. Oh, you've actually made decks. I have the Crow deck. I have a couple of dragon decks, and you've made 3 decks. Can't get worse. Yes. Then I'm in awe because I haven't made. What tarot decks have you actually made? Can you put the names in chat? I would really be interested to know what decks you made so I can actually look at them. I have the Crow deck, as you can see here. I have the Draconis Dragon deck, and I have the Starlight Dragon deck from Steph Engert, who's a very personal friend and signed it for me. So I've got 2 tarot decks of hers. The Satanic deck, I haven't seen that one. But I'm looking to build my collection up for next Halloween as well, so did you self-publish your decks? If you would like a reading, Bing, type in exclamation. Oh, you didn't self-publish. Who published for you? Who did you go through? Or did you do Kickstarter? I know I've had a couple of decks off Kickstarter they're brilliant. If you want to put in exclamation join, and we have the other crystals, we can go through. Thoth decks are a different type of deck made by Aleister. They have several different cards and 3 variants of the Magician. Yeah, not every deck has the 3 variants. Some of the special ones do, but not the one I have. Is, you know, if you're lucky, you've got one of the original ones, and they do have the 3 Magi in them. But I do have the Thoth deck here, yes. Okay, Cheryl. Let's have a look at the queue. You should be... I've got Bing is first. Jojo, if you put in exclamation join, you can certainly make sure that you get a reading. Absolutely. So I have Gerald, you're second. Jojo, you will be third. Bing, you're the first one up tonight. First thing you have to do. What am I going to be doing for What am I going to be for Halloween? You'll have to come in on Halloween and find out. And I. I use a lot of Rider-Waite and a lot of, obviously, Rider-Waite clones. I have Thoth. I have, and if some of you know anything about tarot, I have Bannabelle Wen's 2 decks, her Spirit Keepers and her Vitruvian, which are a different system again. It's her own system that she's made. I have quite a few Druid decks, like Oracles of Gaia, which again is not quite Rider-Waite, but it's just slightly different. And there is the Marseille. So, Bing, for your reading, you have to choose a deck first, and we have Tarot Apocalypse, or the Courage one, Wizards, and Believe, Dreams of Gaia, and the Dreamstone, the Druid Tarot with Love, the Crow Tarot with Hope, or an Oracle Vision with Serenity. I don't quite know what happened to your typing there, Analog, but I can't read that. And oh, Lenormand. Yeah, I have Lenormand and Kipper, and I have a few Hermetic and Kabbalah decks as well, because you can never spell it. I thought the Ellie, and I went, oh yeah, well done for picking that up, Gnarly. The Wizard? That's fine. Massive letters in the middle. That was very clever. And Gnarly, well done. Ooh, ooh. Well done for you for actually picking that up as a Lenormand deck. Because I was looking and going, is she trying to write a sentence? I hadn't realised she was trying to write a deck. So that was very well done. You can see, H. Thomas, we have a lot of laughs in here. We really do. Bing, they came straight out, so I'm putting those there to add to the reading. Your French is rubbish. My gobbledygook's even worse, and that's what I thought you were typing. Bing, do you want a general reading, or do you have a specific question in mind? Keep in mind, I don't do third-party readings, so I can only read for you. I can't do a reading if you ask a question about somebody else, because they're not here. I read for you. We use tarot to engage, not to escape. So Bing, in chat, can you put whether you want a general reading, please, or a question? I'm feeling uncertain about my future. I suppose I want to get clarity on things that are going to be fine, health and work-wise. Okay, so clarity on health and work. Whatever the cards say about your health, it's general. The cards do not diagnose. These two, just with the bats on, just lets me know they were the hidden cards that came out. Because we're leading up to Halloween, we're just having a little bit of extra fun tonight. Oh, a dramatic announcement. Everybody knows don't you have more appropriate music? We're actually playing, right up until Halloween, we're actually playing Wolfie Vallejo, who is a great supporter of all streamers because his music is non-royalty free. And we support him as another streamer, and because it's royalty free, it's usually slightly softer. Do I need to turn it down a little bit? So yes, tonight I'm drinking with the boys. Let me just see. How's that?
That's too soft.
That's too soft?
Perfect. Perfect.
Perfect? Great. Not stop. You were jamming to it. He's very talented. He does it all himself. But actually, because if we have music and soundtracks that have royalties, when we video this, they actually mute the sound. So because this is, we don't pay royalties on this and he allows us to use it, we actually, we do a lot with him and recommend him. So we're talking on work and health. So what I'm going to do is they're your work, they're your health, and this is the decider. All right? So this first card is the Knight of Wands. And that's a very apt card because if you remember at the beginning, we actually had the Knight of Wands as one of the Scorpio Decan cards. So this is your work. No, it's not supposed to be off. Have I turned it down too much?
I'll fix it.
Thank you. I may have actually, no, I can't see Spotify up. I think I actually took it off.
Did you just close it instead of
I
close it?
think, no.
I'm not here. She's moved the camera, so I don't know where it is. I'm crawling.
Hang on, it's...
You closed it.
I did close it. It's down there. Hello everybody, I closed it accidentally, sorry.
If you go liked songs, this stops you from actually getting all his Christmas ones, and just hit play.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can you hear it now? Somebody in chat. That was analog talking, yes. Yes, terrific. That was my fault. Hold my hand up. Yeah, I did it. I turned it off accidentally. I said I can read tarot. I don't do all the tech stuff. No, you can't hear it?
You read cards, I'll play.
Okay. You can hear?
Okay.
Okay. So, Bing. The Knight of Wands. Wands is a suit of fire. And because we're also coming into Scorpio season, Mars is a planet that's coming through. You can now. Terrific. Thank you. So having a fire element and the wands of the fire element is very, very important. The Knight is someone who moves forward. This was your work. So it's saying for you to move forward, you need to take on the traits of the Knight. And also Mars, because we've actually got this card coming through under Scorpio at the moment. So that means you have to be more committed to what you're doing. You have to go forward in your work role. You have to ensure that what you're doing is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Focus on the job, the role you have, and if you haven't got clarity, then you need to ensure that you're asking the right questions, or that you're looking through the work you have to do, going over it, and make sure that you're not missing instructions of what you need to be doing. So this card is telling you to take action, not to be waiting for things to happen. You have to create the opportunities to make things happen, but you do that by being diligent, hardworking, making sure that you are doing everything you're supposed to do, the very best that you can do it independently. If you need help, explain what you need help with and why, so they understand the areas that you need more direction in. It's always okay in a work situation, if you're not sure of how to complete a project or a task, to ask someone who is above you in the line, a line manager or a supervisor, what exactly do I need to do with this? Am I missing out steps? I'm not exactly sure. Don't half do a job, especially now. And because we're coming into Mercury retrograde and we're in shadow, you need to be very clear on your communication and what you're asking and why. So, I'm having difficulty with this. I'm doing A, B, C, and D. Am I missing out a step? So they fully understand what you understand and know what to do and what it is you're not doing, so they can give you the clarity of how to finish the task or the project. Does that make sense? Yes, okay. Now we're going to look at the shadow card that came with your work. The other thing, and I know I've used the bats tonight, is bats have great communication. They use their sensors. You know, they use echolocation. And they get back precise information, but they do that because they've honed their skills in communication. So if you feel that your skills in communicating what you need and what you want aren't where they should be, ask about how you can improve your communication, especially in the workplace and in other areas of your life, because communication is key in every area of our life. And that's one of the reasons, because of communication and the Mercury retrograde, I've used the bats tonight to remind us that communication is used in all facets of our life. Work, play, pleasure, relationships, school, wherever we go, we communicate, verbally and non-verbally. Second of card is the Five of Cups, and it was reversed. That's saying, normally in the upright position, it's looking at all the things we've missed, all the things and relationships and all the things that gave us pleasure that are broken. Fives are very much, we're halfway there. They can make us feel that we're not feeling the joy, the happiness, and all the good feelings that we felt when it's this way up. As it's in a work situation, and also that it's in the reverse, what this is saying is you quite actually enjoy where you are and you would enjoy your job. You're just not feeling you're getting the most out of it, and maybe it's because you're not being able to put the most into it. So you're feeling you're not quite in control of the situation at work and what you have to do, and because of that, that's why you've got a 5. So you're halfway there, but then you can actually go further. Okay? Does that make sense? Yes, it does. I'm really pleased. We're now going to go into the health areas. you have the Five of Pentacles, and you've had two fives here. So this is telling you that actually, maybe because in your work situation you're not quite feeling secure and that you've got everything under control, that is also affecting your health, your self-confidence and how you feel, and that's impacting on your health, because this one here is about resources, and that's to do with the money we earn, our job, all the tangible things in our life. So if you're not feeling totally at ease, and because it was reversed, there were still some things that you were finding good about the job, but you're not quite feeling totally, I've got this, it can impact your health. And maybe because you're not quite at the level you want to be, you're not getting the pay level and the resources that you actually want. Being unemployed has affected your health. Okay. Are you actually working now? Or because if you're not, then what these are saying is that you're currently unemployed. So what these are saying is you're trying to look for a job, and maybe in how you're doing your resume and putting yourself forward, you're halfway there. It might be worthwhile if you have an agency that helps doing resumes. They can go over your resume and maybe make the most of it so that you get to that next stage of the process of being unemployed and actually getting an interview. And they can help you make the most of your skill set. And they often have other classes you can do to help you get ready for looking for a job. That now makes sense to me as well. Okay, so because you're not working, this is why we're having this, and obviously not working is affecting your health. But because you've got the fives, you're not quite in control of your skill set in actually putting that forward to an employer. So if you're currently looking, your resume they will look at for about 10 to 30 seconds. So if you actually don't have the greatest of resumes set out, you've got to take the kids to school. I'll be back. That's fine. Glad I found you guys. Be back in a few minutes. That's fine. You're in the queue. We'll be waiting for you. Not a problem at all. Good luck with the kids. Don't rush. We'll be here. So we're now going to look at the next card. You have the High Priestess. That's saying that there is something hidden. There's information hidden. And I think this is probably your skill set isn't being showcased the way it should be. And that might be why you're not actually getting the amount of interviews you probably could to get you a job. Because the High Priestess is things that aren't quite visual yet. It's ideas or situations, and it might be that you haven't decided on the job you want to go for or what you're best suited for. But quite often it can be when you're looking for a job currently, your resume isn't showcasing what you do best. And that's why having somebody at the job agency is helping you, because they can look over a resume and pick out not only the hard skills but the soft skills that a lot of employers are actually looking for, which creates the difference between who they will pick for an interview and who they won't. Does that make sense to you? Good. You have the Knight of Pentacles. This is an earth sign, and the Knight of Pentacles is someone who is used to being in difficult situations. I often get told I don't have the skills for certain jobs. Then what you can do is, when you're unemployed, there are often courses that I can put you on to help you improve your skill set, to get a better job. And if you're not working, you can often do courses that will help you, vocational courses. Who can do that? And I'm not quite sure what country. Thanks, Jojo. I hadn't seen it on my chat, so thank you very much. Appreciate that. So the Knight of Pentacles. Now I do appreciate that, because we don't like having that in our chat, and I know you can purge it, and we will do that. So he's saying that sometimes it can seem like you're not going forward, but actually you are, because you're taking stock of where you want to go. And from that allows you to then build up your skill set, build up vocational courses, have your resume done, and that will improve your job prospects. But because you're doing something practical, which is what the Knight of Pentacles is about, it looks like he's just sitting there, but he's actually thinking of knowing which way to actually go forward to ensure that he's on the right path and he's doing something he wants to do. Okay? And with two knights, there's a lot of direction there, with a lot of action, but also the main thing is for you to talk to somebody in the agencies that you work with and get them to help you decide what courses will give you the best skill set, help with your resume, and all the other things that can help you get a job, because that's actually what they're there for. It's not just you going in and signing up and saying, yes, these are the interviews I've got. They actually have lots of tools that they can help you get the job you want to get, or get trained up for the job that you want. Does that help you? And I'm going to give you a universe card. There. Love in spite of it all. In other words, it's saying that even though you might think at the moment things aren't going your way, you have lots of people supporting you. You have best friends, all of those who among your friends would be the first to leap, the first to forget, the first to kiss, the first to tell, the first to back up, and the first to remember that it all began with a dare. To love in spite of it all. In other words, sometimes we need a little bit of a push. You know, when like you're kids in school, I dare you to do this, and it makes us do something that we might have been afraid to do. When we're job hunting, sometimes we need a little bit of a push to make us go in a direction we wouldn't have thought of. So you can do all sorts of things when you put your mind to it, but the universe is saying you might need a little push. Have a chat to somebody, talk to them where you want to go, what you want to do for your future. Okay? Cards are going everywhere tonight. Mercury retrograde. I'm just going to go down here and pick up the cards. Hopefully. No? Hang on. No. You're very welcome, Bing. That flyer's mine. There was about 5 of them. We'll let those ones settle down for a second. Definitely will. Just go up to the queue, do all this so I can see you're ready. And next. Okay, Cheryl. We'll pick a deck. Apocalypse. We'll leave the wizards. I'm just going to let those cards settle. They're flying everywhere. Take your time, no stress, that's fine. She has a bot, I cheat and have notepad. So you have the Tarot Apocalypses by Eric Dunn. You have the Dreams of Gaia deck, the Druidcraft Tarot, the Crow Tarot, or the Oracle of Visions? Is there a deck or the word courage, dream, love, hope, or serenity that you would like for your reading? So you can either pick the picture, the backing, or the word that speaks to you for your card deck. Well, I have a little drink. So if you want to put in chat, I was going to, just because I've used that one, I'm just going to give that chance to settle a little bit because the cards were flying everywhere. So let's choose a different deck, shall we? Then we'll leave that one to just calm down a bit. The Visions, that is an Oracle deck. Are you happy with it being an Oracle deck and not a Tarot deck? Go with the Visions. That's fine. Great. Until it's come out, it's Halloween, the cards are flying everywhere. While I'm just trying to shuffle these and keep these cards under control, would you like to put whether you'd like a general reading or a specific question in mind, please? You'll be honest, I haven't had one before. Okay. Then you cheat, let someone jump the queue. I'm seeing new decks everywhere. Yes. You can tell it's coming up to Halloween. I have the Oracle of the Fae, the Crow, the Gaia, and the Apocalypsis. And as we get closer to Halloween, there will be more decks. And trust me, on Halloween, we're rocking some really, really cool decks. Okay, so we want a general reading. And because you haven't had one before, I'm just going to explain. Tarot decks have a specific structure to them. They have 40 minor cards, 16 court cards, 22 major arcana. And 99% of tarot decks have that same structure. An oracle deck doesn't have that same structure. Some oracle decks will have words on to help you interpret them. This particular Oracle of Visions has numbers, but that's only so you can read what's in the book. It doesn't have names or words on it because it allows for more open interpretation and intuition. So this is your oracle reading. This first card is about knowledge. For the Crow Tarot, oh yeah, I'll make sure that Nali has that for the Crow Tarot. Absolutely. Nali is a founder and therefore he has special privileges in channel because he is a founder, and he has requested the Crow Tarot deck, and as a founder he gets the deck he wants. So that deck will be for Nali to make sure. The rules in this channel, I make them, and as a founder you have the deck. Okay, so because you're having a general one, you're more than welcome. This card is about knowledge. She has knowledge on her head around here. She's holding it to her. This is saying that in your situation at the moment, there is a lot of information and knowledge that you have. You not only have the knowledge in your head, you have the knowledge when you speak because it's around her throat and communication. You have inner knowledge. The scrolls here are ancient knowledge. The glass is here saying that you can see things. So this card is saying, although you asked for a general reading, that there is something in your life at the moment or a situation where you need to have a lot of information, knowledge, expertise. You're going through a lot of training at work for the moment. That card, a lot. Yeah, that is a huge amount. So this card, and it's funny, I actually didn't put something on it because I had a feeling that that card was all about you. That is your significator card. That is very much you. You have a huge amount going on, but it's all knowledge, information, training based. So I'm glad you said that because I was thinking, are you a student? Are you someone going through work in courses? Are you going through promotional training, management training? So that speaks to me that that is very definitely you, and it's amplified a great deal. That what you're going through is immense. Going to the back because we're on the communication. Yep. This one here is the key. No, I've been given more roles within the business. Yep. That key tells me it's unlocking your future. Critical roles. The light is in there. It's saying you have been given responsibility. It's opening the case. That light in there is saying you're back. Well done. Glad to have you back in the channel. We're just doing Girol's Oracle of Visions reading. We just found out the knowledge card, and he's doing a lot of training for critical new roles in the company workplace. See, here is someone who's got the keys. Keys are, I love critical role. This is very much the keys of knowledge are the keys of wisdom. It's the keys to getting the next promotion. This light is saying, and the light here are saying that as you actually progress, D&D. I figured it was something like that. I'm not a D&D player, but I knew it was something Anna and some of the others in chat would get. It's on a very sturdy table, so you're coming from a very strong foundation. You're building on it. And because work have done it, there's a key here and there's a further key up here. It is going to lead to more promotions, but your communication skills, your expertise within the business, you are just flourishing, and you are going to become a very high flyer in this business. Spider. I think we're going to be networking a great deal and bringing people into the inner sanctum through the web of communication, networking, and putting your feelers out. And this is that card. Web working. Exactly, web working. This person here is high up above the clouds. In other words, they have a great overall perspective. Like the spider doesn't sit in the web, they sit further up. This is you. This is you being well above what's going on and being able to bring people into the area of your expertise, spread the information, bring people back in, and ensuring that all these things that are further out, you're dropping the mask. You're allowing people to see the reality of what you can give them, what your training has taught you, how you can improve their life. So You're bringing people from further away to under your umbrella of expertise. The wind chime, the bubbles, it's all areas of communication, sound. The bubbles are like air, it's like on the wind. So it's like your voice is traveling through time and space to bring people through. The colors here at the background, deep, deep blue, is serious communication. It's technical communication. The gold here is how you shine a light on a specific area of how you can problem solve and allow people to come under this umbrella, and you take away all the hard things that they can't deal with, shine a light on them. They drop the mask because they realize you know what you're talking about, and they tell you exactly what they need from you, and you are able to provide that because you have the purple here of the inner vision, the third eye, the ability to create, and the red of action and passion. This is allowing you to really be front and center in all these new roles and actually work with them in such a way. My new role is critical communication specialist dealing with very big customers, right? TOT and TBHP. That's your card. That is actually you, yeah. And I've worked for BHP before, so I understand your role as a specialist in critical communication. I worked for BHP before. So, yeah. This is definitely, you picked the right deck. The wizard deck wouldn't have given you this. This was the deck for you. It was meant to be on cooldown for you. It wasn't your deck. This was. The rat. People assume the rat is a hoarder. The rat is someone who actually, they open up new areas. So what we see here is the dancer is balancing a tightrope. She's balancing here, but this person underneath is saying, it's not my turn to shine yet. I have to rest, because when I'm in the light, I have to be full on. I have to keep my balance. I have to juggle the ball, my balance, the wand, and I'm on tiptoes, and the ring. So in your new roles, you are going to be keeping 2 or 3 different areas up in the air, and you're balancing on a tightrope. So as a specialist in critical communication, there are going to be many factors at play in every single communication you have with your clients. When you're not at work, the bottom half of this card is saying, let that go. Don't take it home. Rest. When you're not up here on the tightrope, allow yourself to decompress and rest. You need that. That she's in the fetal position, that's like saying it's the most restful, calming, peaceful position. Very unforgiving if you make a mistake. Exactly. So when you're on the tightrope, it is unforgiving. You will fall. But so that you have all your energy up here, you have to rest. And it is the dichotomy of the two. It's the balance. That rope, balancing up here to keep up high. It's also remembering that when you're not on the tightrope and you're on the ground, that's your time to rest. That is your time to rest and recuperate and recharge. And in Mercury Retrograde, all the rewords, recharge, refuel, reevaluate, review, reprise, all of those things, going over something again. But the biggest one is rest. Rest. Ensure that you rest. You cannot push 24/7. This card here, you're on call 24/7, absolutely. Haha, yeah, I know. I was in Catherine working for BHP, and I had to put in calls into Melbourne at strange hours for exactly the type of role you're going in for, to have them help us out. And it didn't matter what the time was, there was somebody at the end of the phone. So I understand totally the role that you're going to be going into. This here is a circle that is enfolding you, and all those hands are saying There are people in your team, they've got you. That you have support from all four corners. There are people who are going to have hands who are going to help you in connecting with other customers. There are people that are going to give you a hand to make sure that you stay within your remit and understand your workload. And there are people here helping you up that when you're ready will take you up to the next level. All these hands here are to help you in the future not only deal with the new role that you're in now, but how to grow from that role, from the experience you will learn in that inner circle. And when that circle and that cycle is finished, there will be another one higher up for you to go to. How does that feel for a reading, for your very first reading? For someone who never met you, had no idea what your question was all about. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. Oracle cards, some people don't like them. Finger snaps. I love them. And this deck in particular, because there are no words, you can actually just interpret very close to home. I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased. I'm going to give you a Dragon Fae card. Just one. The Lovers of the Feast, conscious, aware, eating. This card is saying that in life, no matter when we have relationships, whether they be at work or home, and we have to go and socialize, conscious, aware eating allows us to keep our strength up. It allows us to keep our energy up. With the roles you're doing, there might be times you have to go and socialize and eat and be with other people. That's the time to be the most aware of your eating to keep your energy up, because you may actually still be in a work situation or a meeting situation. When you're at home, be very aware. It's nice to have the letdown and have all the other goodies, but on the whole, to get through what you're going to be going through with your workload and being on call, you are going to have to look at your nutrition and be very aware of what you're consciously putting in your body for your energy levels. And that includes drinking water and being healthy, getting outside and exercising in the sunshine and doing what you can as often as you can to keep your health up, having such a demanding role. How's that? That make sense? So I'm not saying you can't have pizza. You can, but just make sure that maybe you have a side salad. Too much this. Yeah, sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. That's a very good question, Ving. So how are you finding it now you've had and seen a few readings? And let's see who's coming up next. And I'm glad it made a lot of sense and that we were able to bring out, and thank you for giving me back the feedback, because that helps me, especially with an oracle reading, because you never know if you're on the mark or not. So thank you very much that it was telling me that it was very, very close and exactly picking up what you were doing in your role at work. Don't have to be an immediate convert, but curious as to your thoughts. Yeah, it's everybody is different. And sometimes you need to see quite a few and go, well, okay, might have been a lucky guess. Gee, you ready? Terrific. Now, am I right that Nali is after this reading? I think I saw that. Yeah. No, not this one, but you're the next one. Is that right? So I've got... Oh, okay, fair enough. So I've got two readings and then Nali. Okay, Very nice. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it, Gerald. I really do appreciate that so much. Thank you. I never ask for donations, but they're very gratefully received for what I do. Thank you. Joe and then Brian. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, Joe, which deck would you like? Do you want Tarot Apocalypse, Wizard, Dreams of Gaia, the Druid, or the Oracle? Crow Tarot I'm leaving out so that we've got that nice and free and clear for Nali. And yes, you might think he's getting special treatment. It's, well, I want to know what the future might hold for me and if I'll ever find true love. Okay, so it's a relationship question you're after. That's fine. Can you tell me which deck you would like? Apocalypse, the Wizard, the Gaia, the Druid, or the Oracle? The one with the word love, the Druid deck. Okay. Your question is, I want to know what the future might hold for me and if I'll ever find love. That's quite it's not an open-ended question, which I don't mind. If the question is very nebulous, the cards don't have something really to give you. So what we might say is, what do you need to do yourself to bring love into your life? Because tarot is all about engaging with you, yes, rather than escaping it. So saying, will I ever find true love in the future? Well, the cards might say yes, but it might not be for 10 years. So what we need to do is make sure that the question we ask the tarot cards is for how can you engage? What do you have to do? What actions do you have to take for you to find love or a relationship? Yes. So I'll word it as, what do you have to do to find a partner? Because I don't know your gender and what gender partner you're looking for, so we'll keep this as open as possible and say, what do you have to do to bring a partner into your life? A love relationship partner. Okay? Okay. The shadow card you have in the bottom of the deck is called the Fool, and that's a 0 card. And this is a brilliant card to get because this is the start of a new beginning, going on a new journey. It's taking a leap of faith. You can see here that this young man, the Fool, is someone who is just starting out. He has his little pole here with a little bag, and that's got all the things he needs in to go on to the next part of his journey. He has his lovely faithful dog here, who is his companion, and he has mistletoe. And that's what we put up in certain traditions at Christmas time for a kiss, but it's also, mistletoe is known in the Druid language for finding somebody in your life. It's going on a new direction. He's at the cliff edge. How long is the queue at the moment? I think there's 2. There's H.G. Thomas and Nali. So if you want to get in the queue, Peg a crease, we can do that, and then we might close the queue and see how we go. So if you want to join, and then I'll close the queue. Up to you. Sure, I will do it. Okay. So I'll just, now that you've joined, I will bring the queue up and close. This is already intimately close to home. I'm really pleased. The Fool is ready to take a leap of faith. He's on the edge of a cliff. We can't see what's down there, but what that's saying is sometimes we have to take a calculated risk. We have to say, if I don't change, nothing will change. So when we're using tarot to engage your life, it's saying you can't have someone in your life if you're not ready to put yourself out and meet people. So the Fool is saying if you want to have a relationship, if you want a significant other, a partner, then you have to be prepared to take the first steps on the journey to meeting them. Okay? The second stage of the journey. The Ace of Wands is about starting something with passion and drive and ambition. It was upside down. It's saying you want to start something, but you don't know how to do it. You don't know how to take that first step. You don't know how to create the plan, the blueprint of how to go forward. Wands is a suit of fire and action. Like the Fool, you have to take that first step. This is saying if you want to create a life where you have a partner in it, what steps do you have to take first at home to create an environment that you might want to bring someone into? What steps and passions do you have that would interest a partner to have somebody? So this is telling you that if you're going to start the journey, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that, Sharon. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. My name is Tarot DNA, and at the moment I'm doing some readings. Our queue is currently closed temporarily till I see how we're going. You'd need to be in the channel for a little while anyway to build up the pentacles. But if you want to read it, depending on how we're going time-wise, I might be able to fit you in, but I'm not promising, okay? We'll see how we're going with the ones we've got, because I've got another 3 after this one to do. So, does that make sense to you, Jal, that you've actually got to start thinking what it is you want? Oh, that's fine. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the flow and your energy. I really appreciate that. And thank you so much for the follow. It's, we've done amazing tonight. I'm getting so close to having a milestone coming up that I didn't think I would get to for ages. And we're just getting so close. It's brilliant. So thank you for the follow. It makes sense indeed. This is so you. Okay. Can you see here already? You've had the Fool, which is a new beginning. The Ace of Wands, a new beginning that you're not quite making. The Ace of Swords, another new beginning. I can see that you want this, that you really want to start getting to that point where you can have someone special in your life. This card is an air element. This is the element of communication. This is the one we've been talking about, the blue lace agate. It's talking, but also in this particular sense, the swords is the talking we give ourselves in our head. It's our thoughts. It's how we perceive things, how we self-talk, all our ideas. So for you to move forward, to have a relationship, to find somebody special, do you know what it is that you actually want? Have you thought in your head the type of relationship you want? Have you thought of the type of person you want? Can you actually visualize and see what that relationship will be all about? What you will have in common, what you might do? Because until you actually know the type of person that you want in your life, you can't take the step, and you don't know exactly how to go about the actions to bring that about. Because we think of something, our thoughts become things. So make them great. Think of the good ones. So if you want a relationship, think about the ideal relationship. Is there room in your home for a second person? Do you have a welcoming space to bring somebody in? What can you do to create that? All these things work together. This is telling me you're right at the very beginning. You really want this. You're just not quite sure how to go about it. This is the Four of Cups. These are all the things, and maybe friendships or people that you've had affection for in the past, and you're kind of thinking about those and what you've lost, the lost loves, the lost relationships, the lost chances, maybe the ones that you wondered why it didn't happen. But there's actually one right here. This is the cup you're after. This is the one you're not even looking at, that may very well be the partner you want in your life, but you're not looking up, you're not looking around, you're not going anywhere, you're not taking those actions, those thought processes aren't in place for you to bring that person here. You've got to stop looking down at the ground and looking back. You have to stand up, turn around, change your perspective, and realize that there actually is someone out there for you. You're thinking that's what you want, but you're not actually doing what it takes. Does that make sense? It does. I'm going to pull you an oracle card to give you maybe a little bit more clarity. These are our universe cards. Thoughts of the universe. And I like to finish off with a positive note, regardless of whatever comes out in the reading. Time to make a demonstration. That was just spot on in every way. Thank you very much. The feedback is a great help to me to let me know that I'm actually giving you exactly what it is the cards are saying to me, that it means something to you. The older the soul, the softer the glance, the quicker the smile, and the sooner to say, I love you. They also skip and wink more than normal and hold hands with those they walk beside, utterly fearless. So when you do find somebody and you find that you have, thank you, a connection, don't be afraid to show them that you care. This card is reminding you that sometimes it's the little things that create the foundation of a relationship. It's actually holding hands. It's actually talking. It's smiling. It's doing all the little things. A wink, a little bit of flirting. It's all those things that actually build the connections to allow that person to know that you're interested, that you actually find them interesting and you want to engage with them, but in the right manner. So I hope that helped and put you on the track for your journey into finding the partner for you, and that you will take the steps. But remember, you have to think, start putting the steps in action, and realize what it is you want, so that you know that when you go on the journey, you know exactly the destination you want to get to. Okay? HT Thomas, I'm staying a bit while I finish my shift at work, but we'll reach out to your website about a personal reading. That's absolutely fine. All the details are down there, so that you can actually book on there. It gives you my email, vera@tarotdna.com. If you want to actually email me, then that's great, and we can talk about that and work something out. My prices are on there, they're in American dollars, and this feels like clarity, the clarity I needed. I feel like I have an idea of what I have to do to move forward. I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased. But Showen 821, you're always welcome to listen. If you hit the notifications, it'll let you know when I'm online again, because I do 3 different times during the week, because I do for Australia and the zones there. I do UK and Europe and also America. So I try to make sure I'm covering everything. You're very welcome, Joe. You're very welcome. Thank you for letting me read for you. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for the follow. It's you guys have been amazing tonight. I know earlier on we had a few people that were not so considerate and not so friendly and respectful, and that's what the mod's for.
Trick or treat.
Ooh, I got a trick or treat. Look at that. Can you see that? Ooh, one of my favorites, Turkish Delight. Ooh. I love Halloween. HT Thomas, would you like to tell me which deck you are interested in having for your reading? I'm graduating cosmetology school in a few weeks and want to know if it's a good path for me. The wizards, please. Absolutely. So what full areas have you done? Is it just beautician, or have you done massage as well, and the different makeup and or hairdressing? Because I know some of the schools do lots of different things. I used to own a hairdressing salon and had a young lass who was doing her beautician and hairdressing and everything else as well. It's everything. And Cindy tries to turn a bit for every time zone. Nali, I so appreciate that you do. I really do. It's wonderful, and that's. We will make sure you get your reading in. Okay. So, we're covering makeup, hair, nails, facials. Yep. So let's cover the area. And we'll put a blocking and see if there's anything coming up to block. Okay. Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is a fire element. This is cool. I wish I got a bit more diverse than just hairdressing, even though it was fun to learn. Yeah, it's brilliant. The Ace of Wands is the start of something very new. So I'd say after you graduate, see all these different yods here? They're all your different skills. Your hair, your nails, your makeup, your facials, your manis, your pedis, your spray tans, all those things that you do. They're on this one particular wand here that is saying they're blossoming. So this is telling you that you're going to have a new start, and all these areas are going to come right up here to the pinnacle, and they're all going to flower. That tells me that this path, very definitely, you can make happen in a real way. This transformation here is our death card. It's the Scorpio card. It's transfiguration. It's changing. And it's saying when you graduate, it will be different. It won't be like it is in class. It'll be a whole new ball game. The white is purity and the candle's the same. You are going to step through and it's going to feel a little bit like a baptism of fire. It's very different going from the school to the college and doing it, to going out in the big wide world and doing it for other clients and customers. But it's saying here, the background, you are more than able to take the switch from student to professional. You will change, you will grow, and you will come out stronger. There might seem a few hiccups in the beginning and you might think, am I sure this is the right thing? You will change from it. You will certainly do it in a way that will change and create a feeling of you saying, that's the real world one. That's what this is about. The interview Monday at the salon. I'm sure you have done all your homework on the salon you're going to. You need to explain to them, and this is someone who owned a salon and had people coming through. So it's letting them know that you not only have the skills the college gave you, but that you have the ability to transform from student to being told what to do, and from someone who's done it and was a hairdresser and actually ran our salon, is the time, and you will get faster with practice. And they will understand that you've just come out from college and are starting. Going with confidence. The Page of Wands is a message. You're getting a lot of fire. This is action, ambition. Page of Wands is a message and can often be the start of a new job. So I'd say on Monday, be prepared to wow them with the message that you are the right candidate for them to take on. So that you get the message that you're the one they've hired. She's strong. She has all her paperwork here. Take everything that you've done, all your resume, all your certificates, anything that you've got, pictures, whatever you've got to show them, you know what you're doing. That light, the light here, the light here, it's all very positive indeed. The Ten of Cups. This is the Happy Families card. This is saying, I have everything I wanted in life. I have my family, I have the job I want, I have the home I want, the career I want. All of these cups are filled with all the things you've been working for in your life. This is the best card saying, I feel I have arrived. I have everything I have ever worked for. It's all there. All there. I have the emotions, the joy, the happiness. Everything is there. The Six of Swords is exactly what you're feeling in your head. It's the, can I make the transition from the troubled waters of being a student to the calm? And you might think that's the other way around. The troubled waters as a student are very much, it's, oh, you're always wondering, am I actually going to get this right? Am I going to pass this test? Is this teacher going to like me? Is this lecturer going to pass me? Is this client I'm working for really going to let me do what I need to do? And it's all the uncertainty of whether you will actually get through. It is stressful. I have 5 degrees, trust me. I know being a student is very stressful. It is stressful. But you're coming away from the choppy water of being a student and you're headlong into the calmer water of being someone who knows their worth, who knows that they have the experience, that you have all the skills to go forward and do and achieve everything you've wanted to achieve. 7 of Wands is normally a battle. When it's upside down, you're in the middle of your finals. This is almost like you're fighting off everybody else to get top spot. When it's upside down, it's saying you've actually won the battle already. Relax, you know your stuff, you'll get the grades you want. You don't have to fight everybody else. All you have to do is focus on you. The grades will come. That's when we get too much in our head about we're having to compete against everybody else in the class. You're not. The only person you worry about in all those finals and all those exams is yourself. Ignore everybody else. I'm someone who used to get incredibly nervous at exams. Incredibly nervous. Hated them. And I put myself through it time after time after time. And I only started realizing that actually I don't focus on the other 300 people in the room, because what they do doesn't affect me. If I work on my paper, on my questions, with the experience and knowledge I have, stress sweets and all, oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know the feeling. I honestly know the feeling. And I will tell you, I have more degrees and diplomas and courses under my belt than I've had hot dinners pretty much. And every single one of them, it was like, oh, I'm going to fail. I haven't done enough work. We all go through that. But actually, the cards are saying, you've got this. You've absolutely got this. And you will be fine. You will be fine. Absolutely fine. That is the mature woman. The storks are longevity. I also see that getting this job is also going to help out with the family situation and relieve a lot of the pressure on the home life. The home is coming up as we got the 10 of Swords, that you will feel that you are doing, yes it is, I feel that with these cards. There is loyalty there. Your friends and family are right behind you, giving you all the support that you need. And you have all the time in the world to create the path and what you want to do. That is your husband. That's definitely the Scorpio man. Your husband is there supporting you 100%, and you're going in the right direction. The compass has come up. He wouldn't steer you in the wrong direction. And you are definitely on the right path. And that is the flowers of celebration. He is supportive. He is loving. He's a Scorpio man. And between you and me and nobody else, very personally, they're the best lovers out of all the zodiac signs. But all of those cards, they tell me that you are definitely on the right track. You have everything going for you. Girl, yes. Yeah, I know. I know. Mum. This is an over 18 channel, and it's an absolute trait of Scorpios. Absolute well known. It's the first thing they'll teach you in astrology school. They're intense, they're romantic, they're deep. You won't find a better lover in the zodiac than a Scorpio. So, does that answer your question? That's made you feel so much better. Thank you so much. I know how hard it is when you've spent so much time and effort and energy in getting to do something. Yeah, but as far as I'm concerned, you had your 2 kids via immaculate conception. Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course I did. How old are you now? What you give will come back. This is for you. I know she cracks me up. But all kids are like that, aren't they? You know, and I'm 60, but you know, hey. When in doubt, give, let them have it, surrender, make peace. When there's no doubt, give, let them have it, surrender, make peace. Did I make life too easy? In other words, when you're going with a client, everything you give them is going to come back to you so much. They're going to love what you do. They're going to enjoy all the treatments that you give them, all the services you give them, because when you're doing it, you are just going to surrender and you're just going to give everything you've got from that place of knowing, of your heart and soul, and they're going to love what you do. And it is going to take you to great heights in your field. You are just going to excel. Thank you, Gerald, for coming. Thank you for the reading. And thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. And for the follow. And thank you for letting me read for me. And if you make sure that you hit the notifications and follow on Twitter underneath, it'll let you know when I'm on again. Okay? And then you'll be able to come back when you're ready. But it'll let you know. And Anna is a hairdresser, knows brilliantly well. I was a masseuse. Now, Gerald, you take care. As I said, the link is below the on the panels, and it's got all those different things. You take care, Gerald, and good luck with everything that you're doing. And HT, I know you're going to do well on Monday on your interview. I know you are. But allow yourself to rest, give yourself some pampering, make sure you look your best. If you're going for a beauty salon, they're going to look at you when you first walk in, so make sure, and I know you will, that you're immaculate. And we're going to go to the same place. Are they looking for two therapists? I know some will take, or are you job sharing, or they're looking for 4? So it's a big place. Well, you've got a very good chance. And if you go with someone you already know, that's a really great way of having a buddy there, especially like you can cover each other's clients if you need to. That's brilliant. So if they're looking for 4, that's great. That's a big place. I'm sure you will both get the job. I'm sure you will. She's already had an interview and got it, put in a good word for me. That's lovely. That's exactly what you need. That's great. And if they know that you both come from the same course and everything else, they're going to know exactly what you can do. So I do hope you get it, and I'm sure you will. Let us know. Let us know how you go. You got all our stuff on Twitter? Let us know. Really appreciate that. Want to know how you're going. Okay? Right. Cute. Fingers crossed. Absolutely. Absolutely. You will do well. Nali, we are working with the Crow Tarot. You are up next. Whoa. Yeah, I've looked on my, so I know Nali's next, and then Pagacruz. Well, I'm so glad you were on the channel tonight, and I'm glad you've got the Rider Waite, HT. And you can tell me a little about the 2 Scorpios, the Decans. We're absolutely right with your son and your husband. And we've had a great reading. It's been a joy having you in the channel tonight. Really appreciated it and really enjoyed it. So, you have a great evening. A great evening. And I said, make sure you follow on Twitter, because when I go live, I put it on Facebook and I also put it on Twitter. And I think there's a notification, the bell, on the page, and that tells you when I'm going live on here as well. So apparently it's not just the follow, it's the notifications, Anna tells me. There's a little bell sign and you press on that and you get the notifications from the channel. Yep, you click the bell, yeah. Yeah, I forget to tell people they have to click the bell for the notifications. But then on Twitter they get the when I go live, and I put it on Twitter. Yeah, Twitch only does notifications by default for a week, so every time you come in the channel, just keep re-clicking the bell. Just their way of doing it. Nali, do you want a general reading or a specific question? Yeah, I'm still learning some of the tweaks and quirks of Twitch, but Anna's helping me through it. I popped a question above, did it slip past? Oh, is it possible for you to do an interpretation of some dreams I've been having without me talking about them? Otherwise, I'll just have a general reading. I can try. I've never used the tarot to interpret dreams. So what I'm going to do is I will put it out like a general reading, but I will put the intent that if the cards can pick up on your dreams, if the cards can help interpret. The Crow Tarot is a very blunt tarot deck. It doesn't hold back. So if it's able to interpret your dreams, it will. If not, I will give you the general reading and you can tell me if it's helping with your dream interpretation. It's not something I've tried to do. But the veil is thinning. Okay, so we will see what we can do. And I'm going to imagine that this is the waking state and the dream state. Waking, dream. Waking, dream. Waking, dream. Shadow card. They are. That's a tourmaline, but these black ones are obsidian. And they're very good. There it is. I haven't been dreaming anymore like I used to now. I've been having these really lucid experiences with deep memories I thought were forgotten. Yeah, they're really good to protect against negative energy, and that's why I've put them out, because of the dream state. So, and because I have the big one here. So what we're going to do is we're going to see what's happening. So the underlying card, this is the waking world above and the dream underneath. So the waking world above is the Three of Cups. This is a group. This is socializing. You can see them together, but they're each actually drinking from their own cup. They're not clinking like the people, they're each drinking, but they are together. And there is the victory laurel here. So this is about old friendships, old groups, or this is about three people who have something to do in your life in the waking world. That's the underneath. The dream state. Hello Lothra, how are you? Welcome to the channel, nice to see you back. We're just doing something I've never done before. I'm doing an interpretation with tarot for Nali on a dream state. And we're seeing if it works, because I've never tried it before. So this is the waking world, this is the dream world. So we'll see if we get anywhere. If it is, it will be, quite frankly, a miracle. I've never done this before, so I did warn him I've never done it. It might just be a general reading. We'll see what happens. So this is the dream state. This is the 5 of Wands. This is almost like disputes, but it's badgering. It's not serious fighting, but it's very much the idea of there being angst, difficulties between them. A conflict with my ego. It could be a conflict with your ego, or sometimes your dream state reflects your waking state. So that could be a conflict with the people here in the waking state, and in your dream state there is a conflict that you're not saying, or this could be your ego trying to come through. It could very well be. You know your dreams better than I do and know what's going through. But at the moment I'm looking waking and dream state. Well, that's pretty much all new cards, yeah. The Apocalypse, the Wizard, Dreams of Gaia, the Druid, the Crow Tarot, the Oracles, the Fae, the Druid Oracle. But there's more new cards coming. But we're transitioning for Halloween. So we brought in some darker decks, the darker reds and the black. And we'll be going a little bit darker through to Halloween with some new cards on Halloween. So yes, but the cards and the decks and all this will change all the way through. We're in Scorpio season. We're transmuting, we're transitioning, we're transfiguring. The first one in the waking state is the 9. You can see here the 9 of Cups, that the crow has pretty much everything it wants. It's not quite the 10, but it has food, it has an abundance of food, it has abundance of things that it wants. So in the waking state, the feeling you have friends, you have a social life, things aren't going too badly. But in the dream state, you have the King of Wands. King of Wands, very regal. We have the crow on top saying, I have all the abilities of the lion. I have the passion. I have the ambition. I have the strength. I have the power. You have the sun here. It's like the whole Leo energy, the sun giving me everything, the infinity sign. I can do anything, the crown. I am royal. What I'll do, Lothra, is I've got Nali and Pagacrease to get through. If we have time, I'll give you a reading, but I haven't reopened it up yet. But if we get through closer, I'll open it up to allow you. But Pagacrease, we've got to do last, haven't we? And the Rose of Passion. Yeah, so there's Pagacrease after Nali. That's okay. So this is saying in the dream state, you're feeling, yes, you have everything, but you're also very well in control and master of your situation in the dream state. You're letting yourself know that you have everything under control. In the waking state, we have the Page of Swords. You have new ideas, messengers. He's on the wing here, and there's new ideas floating around. He's taking messages through. So in the waking world, there's messages, there's thoughts, things you have to do, new ideas coming through, new directions that you want to take in the waking world. In the dream state, you have the 5 of Cups. You feel that you're not emotionally ready for maybe some of those new ideas, that there are things missing. And we have the 3 Cups again, which echoes the shadow card of the 3 of Cups. But you have 2 here behind you that you're not looking at. So the dream state is focusing on the negative. It's bringing up the shadow, the past, of things that maybe at the time you thought were good, but they changed. But there are 2 here that you're not looking at. I don't know if this is making sense to your dreams. I've never tried this approach before. So you'll have to let me know, because this is a whole new ball game for me. But we're coming up to Halloween. I'm willing to try. The waking state, we have the 7 of Wands. Can you see here? This crow is battling. So in the waking state, there are things going on that even though you feel the home life is good, there are new ideas, there are battles being fought where you have to stand your ground. People are coming at you from all directions, trying to change your mind, trying to change something, and you are being steadfast, standing your ground, saying, this is great, I'm so pleased. I've never tried this before, I never ever, so it was only your question of me trying to figure out a way of doing it. So this is new to me. And we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crows. So although there are 7 crows, you can see the 6 down here, they're pushing. This crow is so certain, he's actually standing on his wand. But look at that feather. We know feathers are ideas. So I get the feeling that although this is the wands, there is actually this Page of Swords. There is a new idea in the real world, in the waking world, that you are defending from others who are coming at you like it's a battleground. But you're defending wholeheartedly this idea. In the dream state, you have the Knight of Wands, you have the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands. That's telling you have mastery in the dream state. The dream state with the fight is telling you that you have to take action, that you have to fight, but you have to do it, that you have to not only hold your ground, but you've got to push forward. So you don't just want to hold your ground, you want to take that waking state idea that everybody's fighting you for with their wands, and you want to take it back and say, you can fight me, but I will actually beat you at your own game. I am driving this forward, I'm cantering, I'm galloping ahead, and I've got this wand that's here. You are taking it through in full action, in full flight, as the Knight of Wands. And in your dream state, as the King of Wands, you actually know you have the power and the ability and the authority to do that. You have the social life here. You have the ideas here. There are battles. This one here, that was a small battle. That was the 5 of Wands. It escalates. That's in your dream state. You knew there was going to be a problem. In the real world, it's becoming one. Is that helping? You see, is that making sense to you? Because I see a Queen of Pentacles. Some of it really is. I see the Queen of Pentacles. I see a very mature, a woman in charge, a woman in control, who has maybe the purse strings, or who is very down to earth, who has the idea of what's going on, and she's in the mix somehow. She is the shadow of everything. That there is a female, a mature female figure, the Queen of Pentacles, who is underlying both the dream and the waking state of the dreams that are coming back that you thought were forgotten. She may be a maternal figure, she may be a grandmother, it might be somebody at work, it might be a friend, it might be a neighbour, but there is somebody, the Queen of Pentacles, who has an impact on all of this. I will very quickly the courthouse says that there might be something official. It's to do with money. And there is an official person, so it might be a judge or it might be someone in command or in charge. But there is someone who is not giving all the right information. That may be the Queen of Pentacles. I doubt it. She's normally very upfront. But there is a false person who is creating maybe the start of some of the fights and is the instigator. There is a lot of expectation, but there is the courthouse and adjudication. So there is going to be a decision, or decisions have been made or need to be made to bring all this either out into the open or to fruition, or to help you be able to deal with the dream state of whether it is your ego or it is something that's coming up that needs to be addressed. We are coming to the shadow period of time, not only with Mercury retrograde, where we deep dive and bring things back up and reevaluate and reappraise, but also with Mercury retrograde and with Halloween coming up. But the time of the heavens is where sometimes things from the past come forward because we need to address them, release them, let them go, and then work on going forward. So I really hope that helped. Thank you for giving me the opportunity for doing something I've never done before, and doing it live. Well, it was either going to be sort of okay or it was going to be, that's rubbish. So glad some of it helped, and I'm glad it was great, and some of it really helped you. It was good, thank you. Not that I'm fishing for compliments. It was cool to see this reading. I've never done anything like that before. So, you know, I'm going to try different things, and that was very different for me. So I'm actually not someone who does, I've never done dream interpretation before. So that was me interpreting the cards, and the only way I could think of for doing it was the waking state and the dream state. Well, it's all time for me to go to school. I hope everyone has a good day. Talk to you guys next as kimonos and jigsaws to showcase. I'll have to sort of till the bottom of that. Thanks again for the reading. You're very, very welcome. Good luck with the interview on Monday. Hope to see you in the channel again. Glad you enjoyed the reading. And when you're working through with your Rider-Waite, some people say pick one card at a time. You can pick one card as a day and journal it, but if you want to read, start learning to read in pairs. Don't just read one card. Don't get stuck in the idea that you have to learn it one card at a time. Start reading pairs, all 3 cards. It's easier to read with more cards than it is with one card. Okay? Even if you try 3 cards and go morning, afternoon, night, and then write out what you think, and then go back in the evening. Cat is eating in the background. Yes, they're getting hungry. They've had their biscuits, but they're having a few more. So, yeah. Do hope that helps. Whoops, lost. Oh, okay. I banged the table too much. Actually, Anna, they might actually want some more biscuits. I didn't top them up before we came live, so that might be what they're complaining about. Okay, so let's go to... When I go to the top here. Okay, nobody troll for 2 minutes. If they troll, I will hit mod and we'll tell them all to go away because we're not happy with them in our channel. Pack a crease if you'd like to pick a deck, please.
They're just trying to sneak out what they can from their run.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
The one before Courage. This one, the Believe. The Wizard Tarot. That one, yep. And Lothra will fit you in as the last reading. So that's on the queue. We'll make sure. you have a question for the cards, please give me your question. Excuse me, I'm eating a tiny little bit of Turkish Delight. What has been causing my blockage in communication lately, and how can I overcome it? Okay. First thing I'll say is we are in the shadow of Mercury retrograde, and one of the first things it affects is communication in all ways. Verbal communication, written communication, communication by internet, phone, fax, Twitter, social media, body language, non-verbal body language, you name it. Absolutely every form of communication can be misinterpreted in this period of time with Mercury retrograde. That happens across the planet. No, Mercury retrograde, actually we are in the shadow of Mercury retrograde, and it will go through to the 7th of December. The shadow area, but it is starting Mercury retrograde very shortly. We're in the shadow period now of it coming through, and Mercury retrograde actually comes through several times in the year, and we are coming through to a new Mercury retrograde coming up to Halloween. I did have the dates and I can't remember exactly, but no, we are definitely coming through for another Mercury retrograde. So, communication, communication, communication. Shadow card. You have the shadow card, King of Pentacles, which is the earth element. The King of Pentacles is someone who feels very in control of their physical surroundings and their physical habitat and their resources. So this is telling you that you have the ability to control what you need to in the earthly realm of physical resources, money, all of those types of things. Because we're in shadow, is actually also pick the Queen. So this is telling me communication with relationships, friends, family members, co-workers. They may feel that you're stuck because Earth is a slower, calm element, and they may very well feel that at the moment you are not going forward. You're in control, but you're not progressing. You're actually master of the area you're at in your communication, but they're thinking that maybe they're not hearing anything new. What's crossing you? You have a lot of earth coming up. You've got the King and Queen and the Two of Pentacles. This is balance. This is balancing your energy, money coming in, money going out, all your resources, work, life balance, relationships, friendships, how you spend your time, what you're doing, absolutely everything in your everyday life. So at the moment, everything is coming through that's blocking you. So maybe you're actually not balancing things as well as you think you are. We have the Initiate, which is the Fool, which is a new journey. It was actually reversed. So it's saying, it's almost like at the moment, although you're balancing things, you want to move ahead with something, it's not happening. You're almost, although you're in control, there is no forward movement. Everything is, it's grounded, it's going well, it's ticking over, but there's no progression. There's no new ideas, there's no forward momentum. And in communication, that can be difficult because it's almost like we're stagnant. We're not coming up with new ideas, we're not coming up with new ways of actually creating new thoughts, new works. Excuse me, Anna, we have a cat who's looking at the cable going into the router. Roxy, we have a cat. He loves wires, and I really don't want her to chew into the cable going into the router and hurt herself. There, she's gone down. She just needed someone to tell her that she was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It was that look.
I
It's
know.
like the human's trapped, but that one isn't. Yes.
We then have the Five of Swords. This is saying that there's a lot of ideas in your head, but they're conflicting ideas. They're not ideas that you are taking through to completion. It's like they're half thought out processes or things you could do. You're battling yourself, or there might be other people. You might have had a chat to somebody about them and they're not actually liking where it's going. So you're feeling quite blocked, maybe feeling a little bit embattled, that you're not actually having everything happen the way you think it should be, especially as you have the energies of the King and Queen, where you think, I know what I'm doing, I know this is right, and someone is disagreeing, or several people are disagreeing. Minor disagreements, but it's creating a blockage. The Hermit, how you overcome it, is actually going within. You have to have more information to allow you to communicate clearly. That you are missing some information, that you're not communicating in a way that other people are realizing. So you have to look inwards, bring out what it is you're trying to say in a way that they can clearly understand and see where you're coming from. Does that make sense? It does. Okay. I'm just going to pull up a couple, especially with the last part. I'm going to pull up some clarifiers. We have the magnifying glass. That's very much saying with the Hermit, you really have to focus and shine the magnifying glass and the light on something. And it's where you have to review something, go back over it. Does there something that needs to be rewritten? Is there something you have to rephrase, rewrite, resend, reevaluate? We have the Man upside down. There is a person here that is literally across the initiate. Someone is actually physically stopping you, maybe from a position of power, someone in charge, or a friend, or someone who you thought would help you out is actually someone who is putting a roadblock up, an obstacle in your way. This is the Messenger, the Rider. They normally come with something in the mail, and this is all part of communication. So maybe you're waiting for when you get the clarity from within you and you're able to explain to this person who is in the middle blocking you what you're trying to say that maybe you're not getting across in a well communicated manner with clarity and focus. Then that message will be able to go on and get sent to other people who actually need to hear the message. And that's how, is there a picture in a picture, or is it me? No, there is a picture within a picture. I have two cameras. I have the main camera on the cards, and there's another one at me, and you can see the background of these two decks in it. That's the second camera. It's not you at all. There is a picture within a picture. There's one here and one on here. Does that make sense, Pagacris? And welcome back, Outlaw. They're both showing the same camera at the moment there, lol. It does. Good. Oops, that one's wrong. I'm just going to pull a universe card for you, Pagacris. And then Lothra will be able to get your reading in. If you can let me know if you want a general reading or a specific question, and then we'll pick your deck. Pagacris, you might not know now, but you will. Think of someone very, very special to you. How? Now feel yourself bursting with love for them. Now mentally shower, drench and soak them in that love. And now mentally shower, drench and soak yourself in my love. Now feel it always. So even when things aren't going your way, Pagacris, there's lots of things going right for you. Just remember that although one part of your life may not be going as planned, and you may feel that it's actually going nowhere, there's so much in your life that is going right. Focus on the positive. That will help you overcome the communication blockage, because you take your mind off one thing, and it's amazing how that helps the mind relax and sort things out when we're not focusing on it 24/7. Because sometimes when we think we have a blockage in an area, we focus on it all the time, and all that does is strengthen the blockage. We're not giving it any time to unwind and relax and then just let it go. I love that phrase, I know. That's great advice. Thank you so much for the reading and the advice. I do it all the time. Sometimes when things aren't going well, I forget myself and I just keep focusing on it. It's like, stop focusing, let it go, surrender it, focus on something else. And I wake up the next morning after I've done something totally different and go, ah, that's exactly it. You kind of have to give the subconscious and your mind a chance to work through it. When we're focusing on our conscious mind all the time, our subconscious mind has no chance of working through and coming up with a solution like the hermit. Okay? And you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Lothra, which deck would you like? Tarot Apocalypsis. We'll leave the Wizard because we've just used that one. Gaia, Dreams of Gaia, the Druid, the Crow, or the Oracle of Visions. Which deck would you like? You're not sure? That's fine. Do any of these words mean something? Courage, dream, love, hope, or serenity? Do any of those words have a connection for you? Hope. And that's why we use the words. A general reading full of hope. Sometimes the pictures and the backs of the decks aren't what do it for people to make them pick a deck. Sometimes it's the stones with the words that do. That's why we have them. The shadow card under the deck of crows is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is the fire element, and the page is a messenger. So this crow under the sun, the fiery sun, is bringing you a message. Hello Kyanji, welcome to the channel. It's lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. We're just doing probably our last reading for the night. It's lovely to see you here. And you see he's flying over everything. So these messages are coming in quite fast. Might be unexpected, but it's definitely coming. So look out in your mailbox, in your email, in your Twitter feed, in your social media, in your letterbox for good old-fashioned snail mail. Any form of communication where you might get a message through, look out for it. It's coming to you and it will mean something. It has importance. These were the 3 cards that flipped out. I've kept them because they obviously have a message. I haven't slept yet and it's 9 a.m. but I saw you on, so I thought I'd drop by and say hello to my lovely family. How many hours have you been up, Kyanji? You are just going to crash, girl. Get off, get to bed. Thank you. This is actually an Art Deco necklace. I love it. And the earrings as well. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah. I know Anna suffers from insomnia. It's really, really tough. You try and go to sleep. Put on some of that white music, white noise music, and try and get yourself relaxed. Nice warm bath, hot milk, all the old-fashioned remedies. The 3 a.m. house cleaning. Yeah, I've done painting at 3 a.m. in the morning. Your next card, Pagacris, is, sorry, Lothra. I'm so sorry. I looked up and I just saw Pagacris above your name and I read that instead of yours. Lothra. The next card is the Death card. We are in a couple of hours' time, the Decans of Scorpio, and the Death card rules Scorpio, as does Mars, which is also the planet of fire. This is a card of transformation. This message underlying may be the trigger or the catalyst to help bring about a transformation, an end of a cycle, an end of a project, something new starting, because as you see the skeleton here, we cannot start something new until we've finished what we've begun. So this is saying that there will be an ending of a cycle, an ending of something. One door will close, another will open. This is going to come through, and I think it will be from the message that there will be a catalyst that you realize there is a change coming. We have the Knight of Swords. This is another movement card. This is a card of transformation and change. Knights are going forward. So when we've had a change and a transformation, going forward with new ideas is a great way to start something new. It's bringing in new hope, new clarity, new thought processes, new ideas, a new direction. And you can see here the crow is following the horse and it's saying we're moving in that direction, but there are other birds in the sky. In other words, although he's going in a direction, there will be others along the way. A collaboration of ideas may come about from this change, and your ideas may become collaborative with other people. The cards that were under here. We have the world. It's upside down. When it's this way, It's the culmination of a very big project. It's when we finish cycles, we tend to have smaller cycles that we transform. When we have the world, that's the pinnacle. When it's upside down, it's saying cycles may be finishing, but you haven't reached the pinnacle of the cycles yet. The full project. It's a bit like when you're a project manager, everything gets broken down into smaller cycles of projects that need to be done. So if you're building a house, we have to do the foundations. We then have to put up the structure of the framework. Then we have to do the cladding. Then we have to do the wiring. Then we have to do everything else. Night, Kyanji, you go and have some sleep. I do hope you get some sleep, sister. I really do. You take care. Thank you for dropping by. I really appreciate it. But go and look after yourself now. Get some sleep. Pull those curtains. Don't let the light keep you awake. Wear a mask. You take care. So can you see how this is different? This is the end of smaller cycles and transformation. This is saying there's more to come because you haven't reached the pinnacle of what it is you're trying to finish. You have the Emperor. This is stability. So although there are going to be messages coming through and that there is change on the way, and you know it's not the final change, there is going to be stability because the Emperor is someone in charge. It is where the name comes from. If you imagine Nero being in charge, he answered to nobody. So the Emperor has a level of responsibility, a level of making sure and ensuring that the area he is in charge of is taken care of in every manner. It's providing stability for himself, for others, those in his employ, those his family, his community. He's in a responsible position that he takes seriously because a lot of people depend on him. You have another messenger card. You have the Eight of Messages, which is the Eight of Wands, is messages that are coming through fast and furious. So that's, you know, sometimes you'll have an afternoon and it's like your inbox. You are just message after message after message after message after message. That's what this card is about. This is saying things have changed. There's still a lot going on that has to be dealt with. You're not at the beginning, you're not at the end yet. You're still in the process. You are in a responsible position and you are going to be dealing with a lot of messages from a lot of people. They might be different topics, it might all be related, but they're going to have to be answered because they're important and they're coming through thick and fast because they need to be seen to. So there's going to be a lot of focus and responsibility on this. That night is all about going forward, and there might be so many messages because of the collaboration with the others in this picture. So you're going forward, but it might mean to create the final effect, to have the final project finished, whatever it is. There's going to be a collaboration, a group, other people putting their input in. But you're the Emperor. They're coming to you. On that picture of the crow, you're the Emperor. They're smaller ones. They might be contractors and they can't go ahead without you telling them what to do. As it's a general reading, I can't exactly say, but as an example, that's what it would be. You're in charge of something and everybody else is reporting to you. Does that make any sense at all, Lothra? I hope some of it makes sense. You're scared now. Why are you scared? It's telling you that there are going to be some changes. That can be scary. It's telling you you're going to be in a position where you could be in charge. Or you're going to be with somebody who's in charge and you might be their right-hand man and you're dealing with the messengers. So you're scared of being in charge? I just suffered a loss on your last project. I think this is saying that all is not lost. That there is going to be a new project and you are going to be helping. You are going to have a role in that. The Two of Swans is a relationship. This doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This can be a relationship between work colleagues, and it's saying that they're committed to making it work. So if there is a new project, there's still a commitment to take it ahead. There is somebody around who you have to be a little bit wary of, and maybe you suffered a loss because this person might still be around and they might have been integral in what happened. I don't know the whole subject. The dice, there is a bit of a gamble. The dice are saying that there's a little bit of luck involved, and you have to make sure that that luck is tempered with knowledge of what's going on, rather than it being a risk that you wouldn't gamble on. This is saying don't take a risk if you don't want to lose everything. And because you've lost before, you're not going to take a risk on something if you're not sure that it's going to go through. This is a meeting place, a social place. This is an outside area that you will meet people and maybe talk about your new project. The project might even be outside. But this is a contract, a letter coming. This is a contract saying things are going to be going forward. Is this helping you not be so scared? There is a woman involved. And that is commitment. And that can mean that there is a female who might be involved with the project. And like the ones here, there is commitment at the start and commitment at the end. So the people who are going to be on this project are very much, and those other two might be the people helping, like we saw in the Knight card with the other two birds. It could very well be that there are other people who are just as committed to seeing this new project go through. Good. I'm going to give you a universe card. You picked the Crow Tarot, and the Crow Tarot, out of all the decks I have, is the most blunt. It doesn't hold back, and like the Beak and Claws, it does not sugarcoat its message. It comes through loud and clear. And that's why it's such a good deck to read with, because it doesn't sugarcoat. It really does tell you like it is. But let's finish with the universe card. And see if we can give you something uplifting to go away with. But I think you find there might be some messages, and there might be a little bit of talking about the previous one. But I think you will learn from that, and everybody involved in the next one will learn from it and realize what could go forward. You're being watched by loving eyes. What if you're actually an ancient gladiator of love and joy who agreed to visit Earth during these primitive years to spark some new thinking, share a few smiles, and help others discover they too are awesome. Just saying. In other words, people look up to you, they watch you, because you actually do have something to offer. You have a lot to give, and people want to hear what you have to say and what you have to give. They want to be around you because you come up with something new. You may have suffered a loss on your last project. That doesn't mean to say that you're going to take that forward. It's still going. In that case, all this is telling you that there are more messages and people need to be involved to turn it around. You have to be able, it's not a done deal yet. The fox was saying there is somebody who might be trying to put their 2 cents in and not being as positive as they could be. The poverty card is in reverse. It's not going to lose money. There are concerns, but the despair card is upside down. There's no reason to despair on this project. The child is new beginnings, it's new thoughts, it's take a different approach. Think about it from a whole new perspective. When you do, there'll be a gift of an idea, something that will come through, something new and exciting that you haven't thought of before will come through. The judiciary is upside down. That's saying the legal bits are still in flux, but that's good because not everything is known. And at the moment, you need all the information on the table. And it's not there yet. And I think the fox is telling you there is something hidden. There is something going on that not everybody's aware of. Only a few people are. And I think that's why it's not quite going as you think. Does that make sense? You're being extra conscious, good. I've just picked up the Hermetic deck. I don't use it on here very often. It's a very complex deck. The Moon card is called Ruler of Flux and Reflux. In other words, in a project like yours, after the loss, the Moon is saying there is something still hidden. There is information that has not come to light. And I think what's going on is, I'm not sure how much involved you are in the decision making, but someone is holding something back. They are hiding something. They're ruler of the flux and reflux. There is somebody who has the final say, and when things are up in the air, they make the decisions, yay or nay. That person is actually holding something back. They know the direction they want to go in, and they're not letting everybody else know. I'm simplifying this because these decks are incredibly filled with symbolism, and it's alchemical symbolism. But I'm letting you know that what this is saying is that there is a lot of hidden things going on in this project that have not yet come to light. The guiding star is there, but there is somebody pulling the strings, making sure that the project goes in the direction, and they will shine the light on that direction when they're good and ready. The loss on your project may have had nothing to do with you. There is someone, maybe a higher up contractor or someone who is financing this, but somebody knows exactly where they want it to go. But in the end, it was a mistake on your part. Did you have all the information? Because these cards are telling me someone is withholding information, but in the end, justice will be done. It will be righted. Was it a mistake you could have foreseen? And have you learned from that mistake, or did you know why you made it? You have learned. And that is all you can do, because it was a good teacher. We don't learn from our victories, we learn from our mistakes. We never forget our mistakes and the lessons they teach us, but when we have our victories, we kind of forget. It's just we remember the good stuff, we learn from our mistakes, we know we won't make them again. You're now being extra conscious. The people in charge are watching, they know exactly what you can do. They know you've learned from it. That will not stop them from having you work on another project. They wouldn't have given you the first opportunity. Yeah, you just hope from now on it goes slow, but in the end it's good. I think the moon is saying that that is a slowing down. It's allowing the process its time. It's a bit like the moon has different phases. It's like a project. It goes from waxing to waning. You have to allow it to go through the phases in the time frame that it takes. And often with certain projects, everybody's trying to push the boundaries of the time frame. Sometimes you can't do that. You have to wait, and it costs money and it costs time. And the people higher up don't like that because it's the profit in the end. But when you're in a position to say, it has to be this way, you did push and cost you. And you push probably because everyone higher up was pushing to say, we need to get it in by this time frame. And it's really hard when you're caught between the project and the people above pushing for the time frame because they want it quickly, they want their returns. And you can now say, no, this can't be pushed, because it creates more of a problem when we push beyond the time frames. The Gantt charts, they're there for a reason. We know exactly the time frame we're taking and why. And I bet that's what you're saying to people now, isn't it? Because in hindsight, you've understood that there is a time frame for everything you do. Sometimes we wish we could manipulate time, but we can't. Has it helped you going through this evening? And thank you for being so courageous to talk about it, because it's very hard when you have a mistake happen at work to talk about it publicly. I know, I've been a manager and made mistakes, and it's really hard to admit and go, I made it, yeah, I learned from it, but I don't want to talk about it because I just want to forget it. On the hope of the message, yeah, absolutely. That will push you forward, absolutely. The messages are coming, and there will be more messages, and there will be things coming through. Make sure you read them, make sure you deal with them, but don't let people push you into a corner and say, no. And say, oh, we've got to act on this now. You be the one to say, we've made mistakes before, let's just make sure we get it right. And they will appreciate that. You're very welcome. And I'm really glad I was able to fit you in, because I feel so much better now knowing that you've been under a lot of stress and having so much going on at work, that we've been able to bring that to light and have the cards realise and tell you there is some hope. It always seems really, really bad at the time, but I think you're working through it and you've done the right thing. You know you made a mistake, but you were pushed into that, you've learned from it, and you will make sure you never make that again. And that's all we can ask of ourselves, is that we learn from our mistakes, because we are all human and we all make mistakes. Sometimes they cost more than others' mistakes, but we learn from them. And the costly ones, we learn the best from. And I really do appreciate you being so forthcoming and so courageous and feeling safe enough to talk in the channel as we Pagacrease about his dreams and things going on. And I'm really thankful that all of you, as Anna said to me, we're building a community where people are coming back, they're trusting, they're engaging, but you're showing up in a way that I thought would take me months and months to do on this channel. And we've done it. It hasn't even been a month. I started this channel on the 25th of September. So I did my very first test in April, but then we really started on my 60th birthday on the 25th of September. And you guys have just brought so much into this channel. And you are incredibly awesome. You're building a community that some streamers take years to build, and you guys coming together have done it in under a month. That is incredible. You are awesome, and it's because of what you do in the channel. You make this channel. Oh, thank you. We are trying so hard to make this a safe space where people can talk and communicate and feel that they're really listened to. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's just gone from strength to strength so quickly, and I'm surprised. I thought it would take me till Christmas to become affiliate. We did it, and then everybody said, oh, you'll do it by the end of October. It looks like by Halloween we'll have over 100 followers, which is ridiculous. I didn't think I'd make 50. I always say without a great community, a streamer is just a random person talking to themselves and shuffling cards. Yes. And it is exactly, you are the community. You create this community, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here. It has been wonderful to have you all here. It's wonderful to read for you. I love reading. I love doing it. I will put on in a couple of weeks, and closer to the time, there might be 1, maybe 2 streams I don't make. I haven't announced it on this channel, but I will do over the next coming days. And you guys that are here, I actually have a brain tumor, and because of that, we thought it had been growing for a long time. We found out it may have been much more recent, and I'm actually going in to have biopsies on the 4th of November. And because they have to do some drilling through the bone to actually access the tumor, I may not be able to stream for a day or so because I'll be on painkillers. So yeah, it's a bit of a bummer, but I'm happy because I've actually got incredible people who are going to be looking after me. So it's, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm dying of cancer or anything silly like that. It's just, we've just got to figure out what's going on. It's most likely benign. It just sounds really scary and everything should be okay. Thank you. I will be fine. It's just because I've actually got to drill into the right side of my jaw here and take the tumor through here. It's actually through my face and through here. So they're just going to have to numb my mouth, and because it'll be a little bit sore going through the bone, it might take me a day or two with the painkillers to kind of go, oh, I can move my mouth now. And I want you to be able to actually understand me when I speak, or it could be like a rah, 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 rah. We call him Steve, if that helps it make it less scary. Yes. They think it's a schwannoma, so we called him Steve. And we tried very hard not to call him Schwimmer, because that's what Anna was going to call him. So Steve is hopefully going to be evicted in a while, but first of all we have to figure out what kind of bloke Steve is. So it's I'll be letting people know, and again, because I believe in openness and honesty, a clingy boyfriend, I wish. She did say that if he was that close to my face, second face, we needed to give him a name. So Anna called him Steve, which is quite funny because I'm actually 60 and single. But yeah, so I've got a clingy boyfriend called Steve in my face. I'm sure you will be. And I know it will be fine, but I like to be upfront because I think trust is a two-way street, and therefore I don't say, oh, I'm just taking a few days off. I'm very honest about it in case, you know, and there might be a chance I've got to have a second lot done later on. So I believe honesty is the best policy, and if you can't trust me to be honest, how can I ask you to be honest with me? And you've all been very open, very honest, and I respect that. So I'm paying you the compliments of respect of being open and honest with you as well. So, because that's how we're going to roll in this channel. It's honesty, it's positivity, and it's treating people with respect. Thank you. For when Steve has to leave. Yeah, they're just kind of figuring out in the beginning space. I mean, I know sometimes when I move my face, you can just see there's a little bit here. So, well, we'll just wait and see. We'll wait and see. But it's just, again, it's to be forthcoming and forthright and honest with people, because I think people know when you're trying to hide the truth. And that's not me. I don't hide the truth. I'm upfront and honest about things. So that's what this channel's about. Open and honesty and positivity. And we believe in positivity, and I will be back. As I said, I might miss one. Depending on Anna, how strict she is, it might be two, because Anna's my carer. I not only have a brain tumour, I actually also have chronic heart failure. It's one of the reasons I stream from home and I don't go out and do events. So if Anna says she's happy to let me get up on here and stream and talk, then I will. If Anna says you're taking another day, we will take another day, or however long. And that's why I say we'll put it on here, but also if you follow on Twitter, then we're able to notify you of what's going on and exactly when I'll be back again. Yeah, it's like having some dental work, but just a little bit numb and sore afterwards. But Anna, can I blame the computer, please? But Anna, I want to stream now. I want to read some tarot. When can I go back? Yeah, so she's setting me up in my bedroom with a great big screen TV with Netflix. And if you clean my room first, you clean your own room, girl. I clean my room. Can't you just tell a mother and daughter we just bounce like this all the time? We really do. So we're going to wrap up. Have you got a nice large carpet? I know where you're going. I've got lots of rugs around the place and quite a big one, yes. You're great at sweeping stuff under them. I would do, but we actually have two cats and they lift them up at the corners and it shows everything. So otherwise I would. You know, clothes in the cupboard. Yeah, Anna has like a cupboard that is like the full length of her room. So yeah, the cats love it. So we're going to say goodnight. God bless. And remember, tarot is about engaging life, not escaping it. And you have all totally engaged with the tarot tonight. And I'm absolutely in awe of you, Nani, of letting me do a whole new read for you. I've never done that before. And thank you for that. Because I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. It was made up on the spot. And I'm glad it helped a great deal. I really am. So good night. God bless. We are going to end the stream. And I'm going to get a little light something to read. And yeah, thank you for hanging out. We will be back in a couple of days' time. Depending on your time zone. And if you can come out and hang out with us. But take care. God bless. Whatever day of time of night it is. Sleep tight. And we shall see you again soon. And Lothro, I hope things go well for you. I really do. I really do. And, you know, let us know how things go, because we're here for support as well. Not just in the channel, but we're always here for you. You're part of this community. You're part of this family. So if you need us, we're here. You take care. Good night. Ending the stream now.